Yeah, this is what they've been waiting for. They've been waiting for the PCL, right? Well, it's finally here. In case you don't know what the PCL is and you've been living under a rock, worry no longer. You've officially made it to the PCL March Madness. This is the tournament where it's a combination of 32 of the ultimate NBA debaters on the planet. Yes, this is the ultimate basketball debate competition where the best hoop minds all get together in one bracket and only the best will survive. There's a $5,000 cash prize that's on the line and also the prestigious PCL belt. So it's time for everybody to bring their A game, and we will ultimately see who's the best to really do this basketball shit on YouTube. Now, with that being said, here's how the tournament is formatted. We have 3 different topics, like Magic versus Steph, Jordan versus LeBron, Lakers versus Celtics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then each contestant gets to make an opening case, and they get 1 minute and 30 seconds for round 1. Round 2, each contestant gets 1 minute and 30 seconds to do a rebuttal. And while during round 1 and round 2, while one person's making their argument, the other person will be muted. Round 3, we give both contestants boxing gloves. We get the hell out the way, and we let them go mano-a-mano, head-to-head, and they get to duke it out with no interruptions, no mutes or anything. Now, obviously, if things get excessive, if somebody gets to yelling or slandering the other person or just derailing the whole argument, then somebody has the potential to be muted. With that being said, y'all, the winners will not be chosen today. There will be a special show next Friday for the winner. But enough of me. Let's get to these contestants and let's get to this matchup, y'all, because this is going to be one for the books. Real talk. What's going on with you, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How you living?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Had a few errands, but I'm here.
Okay, okay. Word on the streets is you're the underdog. How do you feel about this?
Underdog, overdog, chili dog. Real talking 5.
All right. I can get with that. I can get with that. All right. Let's bring up the next contestant. Mustard. Hey, Mustard, I just got one question for you.
What up?
You about to turn Real Talk Stevie off?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, it's crazy. I've been knowing Real Talk for a while now. I've never seen what he looked like. I didn't even notice what Real Talk looked like. It's crazy.
Oh, so now you're throwing off your game right now.
Oh, hell no. No.
All right.
For sure.
Cool,
no,
cool.
No.
Well, all right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. We are going to start, and it's going to be you to start it out with, Mustard. Y'all know what the first topic is. We got LeBron versus JAYSON Tatum. Who is the better player today? Mustard, your time to start when you start.
Okay. Well, I think this is a really interesting conversation. JAYSON Tatum and LeBron, they've been some of the best forwards in the league over the last decade or so. But I'm going to go with Tatum in this conversation because, for one, I think that JAYSON Tatum is the better off-ball player. He is the better shooter. Even though LeBron is the better playmaker, there's no debate about that. LeBron, the problem, for one, is he's not the two-way player that JAYSON Tatum is. Secondly, when it comes to JAYSON Tatum's three-point shooting, the volume of his three-point shooting combined with the efficiency there, I think is a huge W in that conversation. But the defensive gap, I think, is just it really just sways it for me. JAYSON Tatum is very switchable. He could defend basically 1 through 4. And when teams go small, he can defend the 5 as well, depending on who's at that 5 position. Got a good wingspan, a great off-ball defender, gets in passing lanes, can fight over screens in that nature. And when you got a Celtics team that at times is missing a KP due to injury and things like that, he steps up in a major way when it comes to the off-ball defense, which is a huge factor in this conversation. And even as a playmaker, even though I said LeBron is the better playmaker, Tatum has improved tremendously to fill in roles that Jaylen Brown does lack on that wing. He can operate the pick and roll. He's good in those spots. He can make good skip passes. So I'm going to have to go with JAYSON Tatum.
All right. There you have it. Real Talk, it's on you now to make your opening case. Talk to us.
All righty. So my opponent started off with a lie. The better three-point shooter is LeBron James this season. In fact, LeBron James is better and more efficient from every area on the court than Jason Tatum, besides corner threes, which it's 40% Jason Tatum, 39% LeBron James. From at the rim, Jason Tatum is 72%, LeBron is 74%. Short mid-range, LeBron is 48%, Jason Tatum is 42%. Long mid-range, Jason Tatum is 41%, LeBron James is 42%. Corner threes again, LeBron is 39% and Tatum is 40%. But if you look at the true shooting and who's been the more efficient scorer this year, it's been LeBron James with 60.8 true shooting, and Jason Tatum clocks in at 58.8 true shooting. Also, my opponent said that LeBron is not the two-way player that Jason Tatum is, but it's very interesting that the opponent's average field goal percentage drops by 3.3% when guarded by LeBron James, and that's at 43.8%. Jason Tatum, the average of his opponent field goal percentage is 47.3, and when guarded by Jason Tatum, they shoot 47.3. There is no difference in the field goal percentage when guarded by Jason Tatum. LeBron is clearing in every area, and let's get to round number 2.
It looks like Real Talk got to the numbers early. Yo, round 2 is back on you, Mustard. Talk to us.
Okay, well, let's start off with him talking about the three-point shooting. LeBron James, for one, numbers do not tell the whole story with LeBron. LeBron is, of course, a good three-point shooter. He's improved dramatically with three-point shooting. But for one, teams do give him the three-point shot as compared to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, for one, is taking 10 threes a game. LeBron, I believe, is taking about 6 threes a game. Might be a little less than that. So the volume is almost half of what Jason Tatum is taking right there. Secondly, when it comes to LeBron and Jason Tatum, LeBron teams go under his screens. They dare him to shoot because you'd rather LeBron James take a three-point shot than take it to the rim because he is one of the best drivers of the basketball in NBA history. You could argue the best driver of the basketball the league has ever seen. So there's more context that has to go into that. And defensively, when we're talking about one guarding the other, I don't think that encapsulates everything about defense. There's off-ball defense. There's help defense, how you fight over screens, how you defend on the perimeter, how you defend the rim, things of that nature. LeBron James, for a huge chunk of the season, was not playing great defense. And when they traded for Luka, and even when LeBron came back from that first I think he missed a game or two due to injury. When he came back, he started playing a lot better defense. Even when Anthony Davis was injured at times and gone at times, LeBron has stepped up here and there, but consistently from beginning to end of the season, Jason Tatum has been the better defender. It's always been that way.
All right, back to you, Real Talk. Talk to us, round 2.
Let's get to the playmaking aspect, because I think we all know that LeBron James, as even though Jason Tatum has improved as a passer and a playmaker, still isn't reaching the levels of LeBron James. And I also want to counter the defensive point that he just made. The Lakers have been a top 5-7 defense for now over half of the season, and LeBron is a major contributor to that. And in fact, since Anthony Davis has left the team, LeBron James is leading the team in rebounding. And he's also having some plus defensive minutes in these new rotations. Now, the problem with the Lakers is that early in the season, JJ Redick had a scheme of switching. It was a switch-heavy defense, and that was counterintuitive to the Lakers roster and their roster personnel. But ever since JJ Redick has adapted the more zoning philosophies, he's also adapted some more loading up on the best player and counting on rotations. LeBron James has fit into that scheme seamlessly. He's been a plus defender for now over half of the season. So if we really look at it, he clears Jason Tatum as an offensive player. He's at worst a net neutral on defense this year. I would say a slight positive. So really, this isn't really a conversation. LeBron's a better offensive player, better scorer, better playmaker, and a slight positive, if not full-on positive defensively.
All right, fellas, this is round 3. You know what that means, right? That means I'm going to get the hell out the way. You guys are both unmuted, and you guys are going back and forth. No low blows, no cheap shots. Typically, no turning your camera off, but let's get to it. Here we go. Well, hold on. Before we do that, Mustard, you good? Damn.
Did I turn the TV off? Did I turn his TV off? Bron, did I turn his TV off, Bron?
Damn.
No, bro.
All right, y'all. Well, in a moment like this, the time must go on. I can't stop the time for Mustard's deficiency. So here we go. The time is starting. Mustard, if you are there, at least talk if your camera's not working. But here we go. 3 minutes is starting.
I don't know if my opponent is still here, but I would have left as well, knowing that I had to try to convince people that Jayson Tatum is a better basketball player than LeBron James. The fact of the matter is that Jayson Tatum, even in the most well-spaced offense in the league, still is a less efficient scorer than LeBron James. Even in the most well-spaced offense in the league, he's still a worse passer playmaker than LeBron James. And again, he didn't want to take into account the opponent field goal percentage when guarded by one another. But my word, can LeBron have Jayson Tatum's defensive personnel with a Drew Holiday, with a Jaylen Brown, with a Derek White, with a Porzingis when he's there, with a great switching big in Al Horford? I mean, my word, we're playing with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, you know what I'm saying, Rui Hachimura, and we're still a plus defensive.
But real talk. Let me ask you something, because you don't believe that he's a better defender than Tatum, do you? Or do you actually think that?
I do not have to believe that he's a better defender than
no, but I'm asking you, do you think he's a better defender?
No, he's not a better defender.
Okay, so
he has
we give the
defender.
defense
That's
to LeBron, to Tatum. And even then, we haven't even
but
talked about availability.
Hold on,
time out. Let
him finish his point. Let him finish his point, real talk.
We haven't even talked about availability. LeBron, since he's been to LA, has only played over 60 games twice.
We're talking about this year.
LA, even this year, he's out right now with an injury.
No, but he's played the majority of the games,
and he's out right now with an injury. When we're talking about LeBron versus Tatum, we're talking about the body of work relative to where we are right now. Over the last couple seasons, LeBron has been in and out of games, in and out of seasons because of his of lack of availability. The best ability is availability. I think their level of play is fairly close. But at the end of the day, the availability is in Jayson Tatum's favor. It's not in LeBron.
I didn't know we
James'
were
favor.
going past this year. You know what I'm saying? I thought the topic was this
I think
year.
It's the body of work. I think
if you want to go back,
who
was better in the playoffs just this previous season? Are we going to give it to Tatum because his run was longer, or the fact
didn't one just lose in the first round
in Eastern Conference Finals MVP?
But didn't one not even make it to the conference finals?
That's a
one
team
made the finals.
I'm talking about how they played individually.
But
also, they played together.
It's one series versus the others.
Didn't they play together this summer?
Oh, we're using the Olympics.
Oh,
we're using the Olympics.
Didn't they play on the same team?
We're using the Olympics when they play against Brazil.
Who was the better player on
We're
the
using
Olympics?
the Olympics when they play against Japan and when they play against Nigeria. That doesn't make any sense.
Can you answer my question?
Yes, in the Olympics, LeBron was the better player because Tatum didn't play.
Who's the more efficient scorer last year in the regular season?
The more efficient scorer is LeBron.
Okay, who's the better passer playmaker last year?
It's been LeBron. LeBron's the better playmaker.
So
but
again,
even then, when we're talking about
scoring,
but real talk, even when we're talking about scoring, the gap.
Fellas, the time is up, and that concludes topic one. That was heat. Y'all came out with it. I knew a LeBron versus Tatum debate would be the perfect way to kick off the PCL. All right, y'all, we gonna get into topic two. We started with you round one, or topic one, Mustard. So real talk, we are going to start with you for topic two. Y'all see the topic. We got the Nuggets versus the Knicks. Let's say they play in a 7-game series in the NBA Finals. Who would win? Real talk, your time is going to start when you do. Hold on, right quick. Hold on. Let me unmute you. All right, here we go. You ready to go?
Everybody just saw the disaster class of a game last night between the Nuggets and the Lakers, and that's simply because the Nuggets cannot guard. And that also has translated in the matchups between the Knicks and the Nuggets this year. They've played twice. The Knicks have won both times. Let me give you some numbers very quickly. Jokic in these two matchups is averaging 19.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, not that good. 43% from the field, MVP, 53 true shooting, terrible. Now let's go to Brunson, who's averaging 26.5. He's averaging 3.5 rebounds and 16 assists on 60, 63, 100 splits on 77 true shooting. If Austin Reeves can do them like they just did last night, what is Jalen Brunson doing? We also got Cat averaging 22 and 12 on 77 on excuse me, I'm sorry, 71 true shooting. I didn't want to give y'all a false number. The fact of the matter is that the Knicks are posting a 136 offensive rating against the Denver Nuggets this year. The Denver Nuggets cannot guard. They can't guard the Knicks. OG, and you know what? I'll save that for next round. Go ahead, Mustard. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I do think these two regular season games so far hasn't been very good for the Nuggets.
Mhm.
But when we're talking about a 7-game series, we're talking about shorter lineups, which the Knicks already do. It's going to be even shorter, right? On top of that, we're talking about game planning on a much larger scale. And then on top of that, we're talking about players either rising or folding, right? For one, Karl Anthony Towns in the playoffs, he does not have a great history. And we're talking about defense. The Knicks defense is not a good defense. They're a pretty middle of the pack defense, I would say, because with all the holes that they have on the interior, because what Karl Anthony Towns lacks, they do have a lot of a couple of solid perimeter defenders, but Jalen Brunson's not a great defender. He's getting cooked. Karl Anthony Towns, not a good perimeter defender. He's getting cooked. And Karl Anthony Towns consistently folds in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the guy he has to guard, Nikola Jokic, is one of the best playoff performers in the history of the league. I don't see how in a scenario where they're in a 7-game series, I'm going to trust Jalen Brunson, a defensive negative in the playoffs, who offensively does rise in the postseason. I'll give him that. And Karl Anthony Towns, who's also a huge defensive negative at the most important position defensively against Nikola Jokic, who though has his faults defensively, is still a better defender than Cat and is a much better offensive player who rises in the postseason, and Jamal Murray. I just don't see the argument there.
All right, back on you, Real Talk. Talk to us. Round 2.
I guess Mustard just woke up with the conviction to lie today. The fact of the matter is that Karl Anthony Towns, although he may be a playoff dropper, he plays well against Nikola Jokic because, quite frankly, me and you, Mustard, would play well against Nikola Jokic. The fact of the matter is that the Nuggets cannot guard the New York Knicks. I do know that the Knicks do have some defensive gaps and some defensive holes, but I will ask you, Mustard, and you can answer this in the retort, who's a better defender on the Nuggets than OG Anunoby? Don't really know. And let me get to some of these OG numbers against the Nuggets this year. He's averaging 31.5 points on 78 true shooting, including a 40 ball against the Nuggets. You want to know why? Because, again, the Nuggets cannot guard. The plan will probably be to put Nikola Jokic on OG Anunoby in a playoff setting and hope that OG simply miss shots. But unfortunately, OG Anunoby is a good corner three-point shooter, so that probably won't work either. The Nuggets are not good in pick-and-roll defense, especially if Nikola Jokic is involved in the ball screen. Jalen Brunson will have a field day if they put Nikola Jokic on Cat and have him play in that pick-and-pop situation between Jalen Brunson and Cat. That won't work for them as well. And again, I also want to say that MPJ is also struggling against the Knicks, shooting a 50.
Got to mute you, Real Talk. Your time is up. Mustard is back on you. Round 2.
Well, for one, I think it's hilarious to even insinuate that Karl Anthony Towns could even stand a chance to guard Nikola Jokic, especially in a playoff setting. It's not possible. We literally saw Jokic, even though they lost, he put up great numbers against the Timberwolves last year when they faced each other in the playoffs, and that was against a too big lineup. And now you're going against the Karl Anthony Towns anchored defense that is not a great. He's still not a great defender. And if you want to say they could throw the too big lineup, there ain't no Rudy Gobert now. It's Mitchell Robinson, who's a good defender, but he ain't no Rudy Gobert shading. He ain't no Rudy Gobert helping. So I don't see the argument there. And you talking about OG Anunoby averaging 30. I can put every single dollar in my bank account up that OG Anunoby will not be dropping no 30 point per game averages come postseason time against anybody. That's not happening. I don't see that argument at all. And then we're talking about Jamal Murray, who in the playoffs last year, I understand he wasn't very good, but we obviously know he was playing through an injury. And he has more than enough history to say that in the postseason, he's going to rise just like Nikola Jokic is going to rise. You have two of the best playoff risers of the last 5 to 6 seasons who have won a championship doing it, gone to the finals, gone to the conference finals on multiple occasions, and we're arguing that the New York Knicks are going to beat them in a playoff series. And I understand the Knicks have beaten the Nuggets twice this year, but they're struggling against all of the top seeds this year.
Let's get into it, fellas. Y'all know what round it is. We got round 3. I'm going to get out y'all way. Y'all get into it.
So, Mustard, you just brought up the point that the Knicks are struggling against the top teams in the league, but they're 0-2 against the Nuggets. So I'm going to pose a question to you. They're 2-0 against the Nuggets. What does that say about the Nuggets?
Well, one, I think you can have off games. Those things do happen. And Aaron Gordon has missed a good chunk of the season as well. So I think that does play a factor into that.
Aaron Gordon played the second matchup in which they played the Knicks, and the Knicks still won.
And again, you can have off games. Those things do happen. I'm not going to take regular season games. We've seen numerous times in NBA history. In 2011, I can give you an example off the top of my head. 2011, the Chicago Bulls swept the Miami Heat in the regular season. They went on to lose in 5 games to the Miami Heat in the playoffs. Things when lineups are shortened, when more minutes are emphasized, when the defensive game plans are more critical come postseason time, the playoffs are not going to be the regular season is not going to be an accurate representation of what you got come playoff time. Those are 2 completely different scenarios. The game slows down more. And when it slows down, I'm going to trust Nikola Jokic in these slowed down scenarios where he's going to isolate the game play by play in ways that nobody else can. Karl-Anthony Towns, when the game is slowing down, he's struggling to post up against 6'7" guys. 6'4" guys. We've seen him get shut down by guys like Dylan Brooks in the post come playoff time. He's had his ups in the playoffs for sure. He's definitely had some ups. Like I could think of game 1 against the Grizzlies.
Who are the ups against?
The ups against? Like you're gonna bring up you mean
last year? Last year, yeah.
Last year he played good against the Nuggets.
Okay,
you're acting like he lit the world on fire. You're acting like he lit the world. He averaged 18 a game in that series. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Also, you keep bringing up defense. Yes, the Knicks are middling level defense in the league. They're 14th ranked in the league as far as defensive rating. The Denver Nuggets are 22nd. The New York Knicks have a top 5 offense going against a bottom 10 defense in a playoff setting in which they post a 136 offensive rating against this team, Mustard. You still cannot give me the solution to the Nuggets slowing down the Knicks. Is it putting Michael Porter Jr. on Jalen Brunson because he's getting walked by? Is it putting Christian Braun on Jalen Brunson because he's getting walked by? We just saw Austin Reeves do it.
You want to know what I think it is? Hold on. You want to know what I think it is? For one, in these games, Nikola Jokic in the first game literally he shot 40% from the field, 6 of 15. Second game, he shot 45% from the field, 9 of 20. I don't think anybody in their right mind believes that Nikola Jokic is going to play that bad a whole entire series against the New York Knicks. It has never happened. It will never happen, especially being guarded by Karl-Anthony Towns, who's consistently not a good playoff defender.
Bad games against him now, and that was without Mitchell Robinson.
Go ahead.
That was without a double big lineup.
All right, y'all. That is the end of topic 2. We move on to topic 3. Y'all, this has been a good-ass debate so far. If you are watching, if you're viewing, make sure you subscribe and make sure you like the video. Also, stick around after this debate because we have my man King Capers versus Cowboy Bobby. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. But let's get back into it. Mustard, we started with you round 1. Real talk, we started with you round 2, so we are back to you, Mustard, for round 3, and this is one that I can't wait to hear what you guys both say about who's the best perimeter defender in the NBA. Take it away, Mustard.
Well, I'm going to go with Dyson Daniels on the Atlanta Hawks. I think he's had a really good season this year. Definitely, you could argue in the beginning when his shooting was there. In the running for most improved player of the year. I thought he was really good this season, or I think he's been really good this season. Great on the perimeter, moves his feet very well, very long pause. He got like almost a near 7'10", or excuse me, not 7'10", a near 7-foot wingspan. He's about 6'7", 6'8", a clear pest on the perimeter, fights over screens very well. Now the Hawks defense isn't very good overall, but when you have Trae Young on your team, that's very hard to do. And then on top of that, he's a very good help defender, rotates very well, switches very well, has a very good flexibility on the perimeter, can guard 1 through 4. I like what he does with his hustle. I'm going to save the numbers for my second part of the round. So I'm actually going to pass up the remaining 35 seconds. I'm going to give that to Real Talk.
Oh, Real Talk, he's rolling over time to you. He said he don't really need that much time for you. Go ahead, Real Talk, round 1. Talk to us.
So the defender that I went with today, although I do love Amin Thompson, as far as the totality of the year, I went with Jalen Williams, J-Dub of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And let me give y'all this tidbit very quickly. J-Dub has the best singular defensive rating in the league as a singular player. I know that's a nasty stat. I know defensive rating for single players is not an accurate depiction, but let me pose this to you as well. In a lineup of SGA, Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort, and J-Dub at center, they are a plus 29 in that lineup. They have a defensive effective field goal percentage of 42.1, and they also have a defensive rating of 86.2. That would clear as the best defense in the league, and that is the 6th most played lineup for J-Dub this season. J-Dub has played center. He's played forward. He's guarded guards. He's guarded everybody on the court this year. And also, let me pose this to you as well. At the rim, J-Dub is holding opponents to minus 11.8 percentage of their average at the rim. That is a better percentage than Rudy Gobert at the basket. J-Dub has been absolutely phenomenal this year as a defender. He's been the most versatile defender in the league and the most consistent.
All right, Mustard, back on you. Let's do it.
Well, for one, I thought we were talking about perimeter defense. I didn't know we was talking about defending at the rim. So that's number 1. Number 2, let's go with the numbers. Number 1, the basics. Dyson Daniels leads the league in steals per game. He leads the league in deflections per game, and it's by a mile. Since deflections has been tracked, the person who's had the most deflections in a season was Robert Covington in 2018 with 315 in 81 games. Dyson Daniels right now in 62 games has 369 deflections. It's not even close what his impact is on the perimeter. Let's keep going with the matchups. When he guards Jason Tatum, he shoots 38% from the field, 21% from 3. Guarding Damian Lillard, he shoots 42% from the field. Guarding SGA, the league's best scorer in the league, shoots 42% from the field. Guarding Donovan Mitchell, the best player, well, not the best player this season, but arguably the best player on that Cleveland Cavaliers team, shooting 29% from the field, 22% from 3. Let's keep going. Anthony Edwards, one of the best wings in the league, 30% when he's guarded by Dyson Daniels, 33% from 3. Darius Garland, 22% from the field when he's guarded by Dyson Daniels. Kyrie Irving, 25%. Like, this is not a conversation when it comes to perimeter defense. But when you want to expand it, when you want to talk about what he's doing at the rim with J-Dub, I don't see how we're talking about that when we're talking about perimeter defense. On the perimeter, whether it's one-on-one, off-ball, help defense, switching, it's Dyson Daniels.
Back to you, Real Talk.
So the reason why I brought up rim numbers for J-Dub is, yes, I do understand that we're talking about perimeter defense, but I'm showing the versatility of J-Dub and being able to guard multiple positions. So let me give you some other numbers. He's also holding any and all opponents to under a negative 6.1 percentile against their average. That's also going against perimeter offensive players, as well. J-Dub also does POA duties when it comes to matching up with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown when they play the Celtics, when it comes to matching up with other perimeter offensive players as well. J-Dub also in a lineup that has Dort, J-Dub, and Ihart, Cason Wallace, and SGA. They have a 102 defensive rating. And then when you take J-Dub out of that lineup, they have a 121 defensive rating, which is an 18.6 swing in net rating. And that goes from the best defense in the league to the worst defense in the league. So again, you still have defensive personnel of SGA, you still have defensive personnel of Case and Wallace, Dort, and Ihart, but they go from the best defense in the league to the worst defense in the league when J-Dub is out of that lineup. And I think that gives J-Dub value.
All right, y'all, here we go. Round 3. Y'all already know the drill. The time is about to start. And y'all go ahead and rumble. Mustard, you muted. Hold on. I'm going to restart the time. I'm going to restart the time. Here we go. From the top.
Okay, let me ask you something, real talk. Do you think that on-off numbers and these net rating stats you're pulling up can be misleading?
Can they be misleading?
Yeah.
Do you think that J-Dub is not a positive defense?
Oh, no, I do. I think he's an elite.
So
defender.
What's misleading about him?
I think when you throw in stats like when he's in the lineup versus off the lineup, they go from the best defense in the league to the worst defense in the league. That would imply that he's basically like the best defender in the league, correct? But do you even think he's in that conversation?
What conversation?
The best defender in the league.
He's in the best perimeter defender in the league, which is what we're talking about.
Oh, hey, I didn't know you was going with rim defense here and there, saying he could guard big. So
I was showing versatility.
I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm saying is that number? But I'm saying are those numbers? But I'm saying are those numbers misleading? Because if you don't even think he's in the best defender in the league conversation, don't you think that number is misleading?
No, I do not think it's misleading because J-Dub has been
let
me ask you. Let me pose this question to you, Mustard. Who's the best defender? Who's the best perimeter defender in the 90s?
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Well, for one, I'm not even too versed on the 90s, so I'm just gonna go MJ.
And then you would go MJ and or Scottie Pippen, correct?
Oh shit, I'm tripping. Yeah, Scottie. I'm sorry.
Scottie, right?
Scottie, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
What was Scottie's value? Was it just on the perimeter, or did he have value because he could also guard bigger players and have weak side? Let's even throw MJ in that discussion.
But what does that have to do with perimeter defense, though?
Also can't, but they're perimeter defenders, correct?
We're talking about best perimeter defenders in the NBA. I assume we're talking about what they're doing on the perimeter.
Are Scottie and MJ perimeter defenders? Yes or no?
Yeah, but they do have value on the interior.
Value. Can a perimeter defender add value by also being a good defender in the paint and at the rim?
Yeah, but we're talking about what they're doing on the perimeter, correct?
Right. We're talking about a perimeter defender. That's not limited to what they do on the perimeter.
So if I ask you who's a better perimeter defender, Drew Holiday or Giannis, you're going to tell me that Giannis is the better perimeter defender because he has value on the interior. Not a perimeter
defender, so that's not.
But Giannis, when Giannis was in his prime, like, well, he's still in his prime, in his peak seasons, like 2020, 2019, Giannis was a good perimeter defender. If I ask you who's a better perimeter defender,
was Giannis matching up with perimeter players? Is he matching up with perimeter players right now?
Right now, I'm talking about their
perimeter matchups as well.
But I'm talking about their peak. Am I not?
But we're talking about this year, Mustard. We're not talking about Giannis.
But I just gave you an example and said, okay, even if I do that, Anthony Davis.
Mustard,
is Anthony Davis a better perimeter defender than some other dudes because he's switching on perimeter?
No, the point is a perimeter defender adds value at the rim as well. Not a rim defender has value on the perimeter. It's a perimeter defender.
All right, fellas. That was a hell of a matchup. I appreciate both of you guys for coming up. We're going to put up the poll. Chat, you guys vote on who you believe won this debate. Fellas, the winner will not be announced till next Friday. The judges got to get together and really dig deep into the numbers that you threw out there, Real Talk, the hypotheticals that you threw out there, Mustard, and really dissect all you guys' points. But once again, I appreciate you guys for coming up. Do you guys have anything to say on the way out?
No, this was a really good. Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, this was a really good debate. I like this concept. Appreciate you, Ron. Appreciate Player's Choice for bringing me out here. And Real Talk, great debate, man. For real. I seen you try to expose Jokic today on Twitter. You was going crazy.
Yeah, Jokic is a fraud, but that's another topic for another day. Maybe, if I were to advance past this round and the ballhead Menace advances in his round, I think we are the next matchup, and maybe that can be a topic of discussion. But we shall see. We shall see. But great debate, Mustard.
All right, y'all. Look forward to catching y'all both later on Playback if you do pull up. In the meantime, y'all, we got one more battle of our 4th slate. Let me go ahead and show you guys what's actually going on in 4 today, right quick. Hold on, y'all. Trying to show you this. It's not popping up. So either way it goes, we'll get into this next debate, y'all. Here's what we rocking with. We have my man King Capers, and I also got Cowboy Bob. Let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Y'all ready to do this?
Yes, sir. Y'all hear me?
Whoa, what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
I sound good?
Yo, bruh. Are you doing this on purpose?
Something.
Oh,
Yo.
my thing got messed up.
Yo. You know what you sound like right now?
What do I sound like?
Bruh. Hey, you know that chopped and screw music? You got that voice baritone going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's get into it,
use-
y'all. Hey, I mean, you might have to just rock out how you rocking out.
Use this?
If it works.
Right.
Look, so here's what we gonna do. We got Cade Cunningham and we got Trae Young round 1. What we gonna do? We gonna start first with you, Cowboy Bob, and then we gonna let my man King get his mic together. You got it hooked up right now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, yeah, that's a lot better.
A lot better.
I mean, personally, I would have stayed with the first one. That sounds a lot more intimidating. But here we go. Cowboy Bob, it's on you first. Cade Cunningham versus Trae Young. Who's the better player? Period. Let's get into it.
All right, guys. I just want to say that shout outs to everyone. But to me, I value Trae Young in this topic. The reason why I value him is because he does so much more at his position. He's a facilitator. He's going to give you 25 and 11 assists. That's what he's doing this season. So a lot of the things that he's going to do is get everyone involved, and that's what you want with an on-ball player. Problem is when you look at the guys that he's compared to. For example, you have Steph Curry. Steph Curry, we all know, is a great guy, and he can always just beat everyone on and off ball. Then you look at how he's also being compared to, oh man, I forgot the dude's name from the Bucks. Damian Lillard. When he gets compared to him, Damian Lillard has a better mid-range game to where he can get into the mid-range and actually shoot better so he can push off defenders. But when we talk about Trae Young, no one really values what he does to his team. He brings you this, says he's going to get you involved. He plays defense, but it's not up to the standard of the league because now you have more guys taking three-pointers. And the way he sags off on the defense as a defender, he's chancing them to let them go ahead and shoot. Problem is with that not you have more people shooting threes, it's going to be bad for him. So his rating goes down in that, and then there's more I'm going to break down actually in the next round about it, a certain play against a team. And most of y'all going to laugh, but here's the thing. I see more in Trae that what he can do at his position to help out my team than Cade. Cade still needs time to grow. Don't get me wrong. He's very talented.
All right, Cowboy, had to mute you. It's on you, King. Talk to us. Round 1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, I'll switch back to the other mic. All right, bet. So listen, Cade Cunningham averages 3 less assists, but Cade Cunningham is a way better defender than him. He's a better rebounder. He's averaging more points. His team is doing 5 games better because of him. He hasn't been healthy for the most part throughout his career until this season. He's played just about every game, and he's shooting a 5 better field goal percentage and 3 better from 3. I don't even know how this is even a debate. He's a better Trae Young, yes, he is a better passer, but I think that Cade Cunningham does everything better outside of facilitating, and I don't think Trae Young's that much better of a facilitator than Cade Cunningham. And that's my argument right there.
All right, that's that. Hey, he only needed 30 seconds in the first round.
I need a whole minute.
He only needed about 45 seconds. All right, here we go. It's back on you, Cowboy. Talk to us.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep, you good.
All right, good. Thank you. Now, when we're going to talk about defense for Trae Young, I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, it's funny because most of you guys watch the game and just don't really pay that much attention to it because it's exciting. For example, we all know that defensive switching is high on Trae Young because of his size and his lack of, let's say, strength or height. Offense is his defense. When he has the ball in his hands, getting to the lane, drawing fouls, he's slowing down the time, letting his guys run, allowing them to run defensive plays. And on top of that, if you're a defender, if you look at his last game where he shot 21 free throws, that means that that's 2 players right there that fouled out of the game. So you can't tell me that that's not defense. And on top of that, he creates turnovers in the passing lane. Hold up, like I was saying, when there's a defender for the screen, he sags off and he gets low. If you're an on-ball player, it's going to be difficult to get into that lane because he's going to swipe at the ball and take it from you. That's what he's been doing. But the problem is, like I said, everyone's shooting more threes now in the league that he looks bad at the three-point line. He actually is taking more threes this year. And here's the thing, he does it on less shots. This guy is under 20 shots a game, and he's giving you 25 points. But real quick, when it was 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third, he gets a steal in the midcourt, gives it to LeVert for an open 3. They miss a shot. He comes back down and scores. That's a 5-0 run. But the next play, he gets his head beat by a backdoor cut on Ball. Once Ball does the backdoor cut, he still hits the ball out of his hands, and Ball has to take 2 shots.
All right, back on you, King. Talk to us, round 2.
Okay, I hear you with the steals, but I'm looking at it. They both average the same amount of steals per game. Both of them 1 on the dot. Again, he is one of the worst defenders, and they're a terrible defensive team in large part because of him. Now, we can switch back to the offensive side of things. Like I said, my man is shooting a 5 better field goal percentage. He's better at the rim finishing than him. He's a better three-point shooter than him. He gets his guys involved, not to the level of a Trae Young, but he gets his guys involved, and he has his team way above Trae Young's team. And you can argue Trae Young has more talent on that team. Now, granted, Jalen Johnson just got hurt. That doesn't help. But outside of that, I mean, bro, Cade Cunningham has them boys balling. Let me kick it back to him.
Back at you, Cowboy Bob. Whenever you're ready, let's do it.
Not just the 3 minutes, or it's just okay.
Go
We
ahead.
can keep going.
Oh, wait, hold
man.
on. Wait.
I thought it was a 3 minutes.
Yeah,
of the
let me get the 3
2 rounds,
minutes up. Let me get the 3
yeah,
minutes
'cause
up.
I don't want
All
to
right.
be rude.
Round 3. Y'all know what the drill is. Let's do it.
All right, so Ben, you just did a lot of good talking, and I appreciate that. But here's the thing: we talking about a player and Trae Young versus Cade Cunningham, not the team. But since you brought up the whole defense thing, hold up.
Go
Here's
ahead.
the thing about Trae. To me, I think that Trae is one of the most underrated players that everyone looks at. Because here's the thing: when it comes to game time, he can get you what you need, and on top of that, he has a floater. But let me talk about your boy Cade. I saw them play against the Wizards, right?
Yep.
How is it that Jordan Poole is able to stay in front of him when he's trying to get into the lane in the third quarter with 8:45 left? How are you
Okay.
letting a guy like him slow you down? And on top of that, he has a mental issues where a lot of times he gets into foul troubles where he gets 2-3 quick fouls because he's mentally strained. He's gonna have to develop a better game over time, maybe 2-3 years. That's what I'm talking about right now. I want Trae because the success I have in a point guard that's gonna go ahead and give me my 25 points, give me my 11 assists. And here's the funny thing: he does 3-point shooting on a low efficiency. He was
All right,
shooting
King. I'm
8.
gonna let you step in. It's been a
Okay.
minute in. What's your rebuttal to that?
He has a point. Like, okay, yeah, Cade Cunningham is raw, but my whole point is Cade Cunningham raw right now is a better overall player than Trae Young. That's my whole point. I just listed why. Yeah, okay, he's Jordan Poole staying in front of him. There's some things that he has to add to his game that'll help him score or help him navigate through the lane, and he's doing that. I mean, he has those issues that you're bringing up, and he's still averaging more points and only 3 less assists than Trae. You have anything to say to that?
Yeah, I was letting you rock, but I was like, okay, fine. Here's the thing: it's not just about the scoring; it's how you get your
Yeah,
teammates
no,
involved.
yeah,
Here's the
he
thing:
does
hold on,
that
and
too.
there are times where you see Cade, he takes over the game. When he played against the Knicks, what
Yup.
did he do when he got his 5th foul? I was pissed. I was like, yo, take it to him, man. His mental clip. Sometimes that's too late in the game. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about. Those things he's got to work on. I already got a player in Trae Young, who, here's another thing most people don't even know. Him and Nature Ultraviolet Anderson are both the only 2 NBA players to have the most points and also the most assists in a single season for the league. So when you look at how he's been doing all these good things, you can't just sit here and say he doesn't play defense, he doesn't contribute, but he does do the assists. And now, like I was trying to say before, he moved up from he doesn't shoot threes. His thing is he shoots 7 to 8 threes throughout his
Right.
career. He just
Go
started
ahead,
adding 2
King.
more.
Tap in,
So
King.
with that Nate Archibald stuff, what year was that? With him?
I think, give me a second. I think it was 2021 and the 22 season.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure. So that was
Yeah.
that was a while ago now. I don't even think my man At that point, he had only played 12 games that season.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're going off of right now, and Cade Cunningham is a better overall player than Trae Young. Facts.
I don't know about that, man, because Trae
He
Young is going to
is.
get everyone involved way more than Cade.
Yeah, but Cade also.
All right, y'all. The time is up. The time is up. That is topic 1. Cade Cunningham versus Trae Young. That topic was heat. Go ahead and put up the poll and let's see what the viewers think about that. In the meantime, y'all, we are going to transition to topic 2. And we have another hypothetical series. Now, let's say that the Clippers ran through the West and the Pacers ran through the East. We got a 7-game series in the NBA Finals. Which one of these two teams wins? Cowboy Bob, we started with you first. So, King Capers, we go kick the rock to you to start off topic 2. Talk to us.
Okay. The Indiana Pacers right now are 37-28. They're sitting at 5th place in the East. Right now, the Clippers are 8th at 37-30. But here's the kicker. If you look at how these two teams have played against competition this year, the Pacers are 15-12 against teams above 500, and the Clippers have struggled all season long against teams above 500 at 14-20. The Clippers feast on bottom feeder teams below 500. Do you want to know what their record is against bottom feeder teams? 23-10. Okay, now let's get back to the head-to-head. This is how you end this whole debate right here. First of all, and I don't wish this on anybody, but a big health concern issue with Kawhi Leonard. Is he going to give you a full series? How healthy is he going to be to go? And you know James Harden is known to choke. In the meantime, you had Tyrese Halliburton take them boys all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last season. And he has them boys playing good ball now. He struggled to start the year, but he's picking it up a lot lately. And in my opinion, and how many games, I think they will get this done in 6. The Indiana Pacers I'm talking about.
Pacers in 6. You heard King first. Cowboy Bob, what is your rebuttal to this?
All right. First off, we're talking about not against the whole league. This is a
No, I'm
series
talking about competition.
So when you brought up other things about competition, I'm just going to stick to the straight facts real quick.
Okay.
The straight facts is top 10 defensive players. 5 of them are OKC, but 2 of them are also on the Clippers. And Batum, who's going to be locking up to me, Siakam. That right there, that matchup is going to look beautiful because Batum is a 105 and he's 4th in defensive rating. Then you got Chris Dunn, who most likely is going to be playing on Halliburton. Now, Halliburton's skill set isn't really good when he plays against a physical player.
Okay.
Dunn is rating is 105.9 and he's 7th. So
Right.
when you look at that right there, everyone says, oh, the Clippers suck. The Clippers sucks. No.
No.
What big do you guys have that's going to stop Zabaka? First of all, a lot of you guys shoot way more threes, and it goes into their style of playing. Do you know why I say that? Because here's the thing. When you guys get into your 3-point shots, it's a long rebound. There's no real big that's going to be down there banging with him on the boards because we all know how physical he is. And on top of that, what about the pick and roll situation? Who's going to stop James Harden and Zubac doing the pick and roll scheme? He's also going to open up for Bogdanovich in the 3-point corner. And as well, even if Kawhi Leonard is knee, he has one leg. He's still better than most of the people in Indianapolis. I mean, they guys suck, man. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is he's going to get to the basket and score because this is a mid-range team. They don't really shoot threes and rely on the 3-ball like everyone else does. So now for them, it's going to be getting to the foul line, slowing down the game, and that's how.
Got to mute you, Cowboy. Your 90 seconds is up. It's back on you, King. Talk to us.
Okay. First of all, to answer your question, Miles Turner will have no problem with Zubac. Miles Turner also will have no problem in drop coverage in the pick and roll. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, Zubac is not guard Miles Turner on the perimeter, and everybody in here knows it. First of all. Second of all, I'll bring up something if we want to stay on the head-to-head. The Clippers, you have Harden who can get your shots late in the game. You have Kawhi Leonard who can get his own shot late in the game. You have Norman Powell. But we don't really have guys to that extent to get their shots late in the game. But you have Halliburton who plays at 100% Russell Westbrook speed, who's downhill, kicking out, forcing you to help, whether he's kicking out for alley-oop, kicking out to the corner, and you're going to get wide open shots from 3. And that's about it. That part you brought up with Zubac, I think Miles Turner can clear him. Go ahead. That's me.
Back on you, Bob.
Go ahead, Bob.
All right, so but let's just finish this up real quick because here's
Okay.
the thing. The pick and roll situation is going to be very detrimental to you guys. And like I said earlier about
No.
slowing down the time, the fact that you're slowing down the time on a fast transition team, because here's the thing, you guys like to run in transition, get down the court, right? If they are holding the ball with James Harden, slowing it up and then maintaining the clock and running the clock down, even though you are right about his turnovers, he's more consistent in controlling the clock. That takes time for you guys to get into running. And at some point, you guys like to do a lot of switching and rotation, mix and matching. This team is old school with a lot of these players have experience to where they can take advantage of the situation. Bogdan is actually being one of those guys as well. He's actually going to be stepping up more. And if you look at how these guys are going to be scoring and playing defense, it's going to be pick and roll, mid-range, free throws. They're going to be slowing down the game a lot, and you guys are going to get really upset. And then even if you look at the bench, it's pretty set that they're going to be doing a lot better. So for me, I think that with their game set, how they are, and everybody that has the experience is going to be a lot better for you to go up against a younger team who all they're going to do is run. No one's going to be able to do anything with Kawhi down low. Siakam's not going to be able to hold him because Batum's going to be on him. You even got, like you said, Powell's going to be doing good. This is going to be a very physical game for these guys. And it's going to be difficult for them to keep up because, again, when you play a defense, you also can control offense. And most people don't really know that that's two parts of the game. But go ahead.
Here we go. We got 3 minutes. You guys rumbling. Let's do it.
Okay, first of all, listen. They're going to slow the game. They can slow the game up all they want to. That'll be fine. My question to you is, don't you think at the pace that the Pacers play with, they're not going to run them out of the gym?
No,
They're going to run them out of the gym.
No,
They're going to try to.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, at some point they're going to draw a foul because we know how Harden is with that. He's going to get the contact he needs. That's going to slow down the game. That's going to be, how long do they take when they're doing the foul throw? You see them cleaning their hands, taking a step back. That's helping out their team with defense, and they're getting set up. That's what I'm talking about. It's mind games. And you guys are very young to it. You don't have that well of a mismatch. Because, again, like I said, look at how you guys are getting to play. Y'all guys are going to be running against the
Bro,
team.
We're running people off of screens. Where we got Halliburton and not Nemhard. Halliburton and Mathurin slashing.
They have Chris Dunn, who's going to be good off of switches. He's one of the best.
We got Siakam.
Oh, come on. What is Siakam going to do against Batum?
Post up.
What?
He's going to get in that mid-range area, and he's going to give him buckets.
Yo,
and if you help, you can't help off of anybody.
He is fourth in defensive. Oh my God. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Siakam is not going to get his easy 30 or his easy 20. No. It's going to be a very difficult game.
He'll have to work for it.
And they're going to be in their head. And then when they're doing their switches with off-the-bench players trying to bring in Thomas Bryant, bringing all these other guys, they're going to take advantage of it with the pick and roll. Go ahead.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Because, first of all, he's not going to be able to just guard Siakam one-on-one. You're going to have to bring somebody over to help the drive. And if you do that, you're going to get cooked because the three-point line, somebody's going to be open on the three. Then you guys are going to be scrambling out, pass and rotate three. And we're going to outshoot you guys. We're going to outrun you guys. And that's going to play in our favor.
Do you even know that this team right here, I'm talking about the Clippers, are known for their defensive team is 109, which means that's the average of teams that they play against. Your guys normally is what, like 120 or something like that? 115, excuse me. So we just took off some of your points playing our style of basketball based on.
No, you didn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. It's a different game when it's a 1v1 because if you look at how this team is, they're going to take advantage playing the mid-range. That takes a lot of time. Setting up backdoor cuts, setting up actually post games. Come on, man. And you already know how well of a rebounding team these guys are going to be. And they're very good defensively. I'm telling you, they're going to control a lot more than you think. And that's going to be the problem because anybody that they play, that the Pacers play, they get hit, they get bumped, they get slowed down, they got to get back into a rhythm. Even when they were hitting their shots, they'll make 2 shots, but then who's going to be rebounding? These guys, the Clippers are way better at that.
Team rebounding.
Go ahead. I'm talking about how they're going to get into transition. I really believe the Clippers.
They're going to grab the ball, and they're going to go.
All right, y'all. That is the end of round 3 for topic 2. That was amazing, y'all. That was a lot better than the first round. Not saying that the first topic was whack, but that one y'all took it to another level. Let's see what y'all got for topic 3. And once again, I want to tell everybody this. Stick around. We have another debate after this. We have 2 wild cards. One who you guys have gotten familiar with. He goes by the name of John D. He was a wild card in the last PCL, and he made a deep run. So we'll see if he could do it this time. But first, he has to get past Julius C., who was a wild card for this PCL March Madness. Y'all stick around and check that out. But as of right now, we are getting into topic 3. What big man would you want to start your team with for one season? Now, this is excluding Giannis, Jokic, Wemby, Embiid, Sabonis, the obvious answers. We want these fellas to get in a bag. So let's go ahead and do it. Cowboy Bob is back on you. Your time starts whenever you do. Let's do it.
All right, man. Well, so I picked Jared Allen. I like the way he's been playing in Cleveland, and he's a big with great footwork. He can cover small. I've seen him cover out the perimeter, close out. He didn't even create fouls. He's very physical and strong at the rim. He does a lot of good rebounding. He's also known to getting into transition and passing as well. So when you're looking at, like, if you want to do an inbound play at the last few minutes, you could give it to Jared Allen. He can stop, create a pass, and get that second pass, or you can go ahead and get off the screen. He has a wingspan of 7'6" and he's 6'9". The guy has also been very well. He shoots 70% at the mid-range, at the rim, and on top of that, he's a 70% free throw shooter. He doesn't demand the ball a lot, but the best part about that is he's also going to give you a double-double. He loves contesting the shot. He also says that there have been times where I've seen him, like with Zion. I remember one time Zion was coming down in the lane. He cut him off, had to go ahead and knock the ball away. Zion created a pass, had enough time to turn around and still block Nisi at the rim. You also had another time when they were playing against the Raptors. He's coming down court. They got the steal quickly. He's way past him. He managed to time it and stop it by blocking the shot without even creating a foul. So there's a lot of things to his game that he can do. I've seen him do closeouts at the 3-point range. Again, that is very, very rare for a big. And with his advantage in size, I really think that you can do a lot of damage with him because you can use a wicked defender in front and drop it in for him. He'll be up for the challenge. And his offense.
All right, Cowboy, your time is up. It's back on you, King. Talk to us.
Now, I like Jared Allen a lot, actually, but I would have just rather went Chet on that one at that point. But anyway, Karl Anthony Towns this season since getting to the Knicks is averaging 24 points. He's shooting 42% from 3, 52% from the field. He's averaging 13 rebounds. He's had games where he's had 18, 20 rebounds this season. I will concede the fact I cannot argue with you. Jared Allen is a better defender. I can't even argue that. But there's stuff on the offensive end that Cat brings that Jared Allen just doesn't bring. Post up. Stop it. Stepping out at the 3-point line. Pick and roll. Short roll man game. Putting the defense, pressure on the defense and kicking it out to Josh Hart or OG, guys like that. I would think if I wanted to start my team, give me a big man that can score like Cat, rebound like Cat, play make to the extent that he can do, and I'll be fine. That's just me. I don't need a whole minute. Right back to you.
Back on you, Cowboy.
Yo, that is some dirty. I'm a Knicks fan, but it's all right, though. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to respect that because I put my foot in my mouth because I didn't even think about that. Because the thing is for me, the way the cap is and the way the money is, right. I'm still going to go with my guy, Jared Allen. I'm going to tell you some things that he also has been doing since it's crazy. He had a 2020 game. Nobody really talks about that as well. Like I said, he's 70% from the field. He's very accurate. He also has 985 shots. That is crazy, especially for a big. Now, I remember them playing against the Bucks. Giannis tried to go up underneath him. He still managed to have his head in front of him and swipe behind him, knowing where the ball is. So his bond is very set, as well as his footwork. So again, when it comes to defense, and I know that the league is about scoring and offense, I'm going to have a great guy in Jared Allen who's going to be a defensive player. For example, if he's manning up against my guy Cat, he's going to close out at the 3 on him. Cat may not get those easy looks, and even the Cats do the dribble. He'll come over top and spin and give him a contested shot without fouling. There's a lot of footwork that he has that gets underrated. Plus, remember what I told you. He's 6'9", moving like a small. I've seen him close out on guards. I've seen him keep up with guards. I've even seen him block what's his name, Wagner. Wagner crossed him up. He went up under. He was already in the air, managed to turn his body around completely and smack that ball straight out of his hands, goes out of bounds. He doesn't create no type of serious contact doesn't get into foul trouble, and he's limited in minutes, which means I can go switch up my.
All right. King is back on you. Round 2. Talk to us.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. Again, I like the pick, but I put it this way. There are certain things on the floor that Jared Allen can't do that Cat can do, like I named as far as shooting, posting up, short roll man, pick and roll man, whatever. I feel like that's more valuable than a elite defending big man in today's game. Now, I'm conceding the defense to you, but I feel like you bring it back to the offensive end. Jared Allen is offensively limited. Like you said, he was shooting 70% from the field. A lot of his shots are lobs, putbacks, finishes at the rim. Cat can do more offensively that can open the offense up for your team overall. And that's why I think Cat is a better player than him. Although he's not the better defender, I think that he just brings more. Your thoughts?
All right.
And you're a Knicks fan too, so you should know this.
It's the 3 minutes. Go ahead. Y'all got it.
Yeah, it's sad. You got me on this one. I like it, but this also gets to show you why I believe in my team, even though I know our flaws. When it comes to Cat, that close out on 3, Allen's going to get him more. When it comes to trying to dribble and fake, see, the thing is Cat hasn't been doing what he didn't do earlier in the season, which was get to his spot and pull up and shoot, hit off the glass. He was doing. Now he's just going straight to the rim, or he's doing a step back 3. Those things right there, Allen is going to get used to and be physical with him. And even when he's in the post, Allen is going to put enough weight on him to push him off his feet. So when it comes to Cat may be very, very skilled in a lot of offense.
Yes.
But here's another thing, foul trouble. Hey, he always gets into foul trouble early. All you got to do with Tibbs is get 2 quick fouls, especially on Cat. He's sitting them down, and then he's going to small ball. Now we got the upper hand, Jared Allen.
Chime in, King. Chime in, King.
Well, yeah, okay. But listen, this is what I'm saying to you, though. The way you would guard a team that has a big man that can shoot threes and stretch the floor with him, like him, it's harder to guard your team overall. I feel like it's easier to start a team around the dude that can space the floor because there's more opportunities for the other players that you put around your team. That's all I'm trying to say. Yes, you could get Cat in foul trouble. Cat's not the best defender. Jared Allen's a better defender, and he can guard the rim elite. But I just feel like Karl Anthony Towns' offensive bag, it'll make life easier on your team. And on top of this, if we want to go to the one-on-one battle, it's easier for Cat to guard him than it is for Cat to guard. I mean, for Jared Allen to guard Cat. What you think about that?
Good point. Because we all know that Cat has handled. But here's the thing: how is he gonna finish? Allen doesn't deal with all of that, and he doesn't need to. Remember, in the game, he's gonna be grabbing boards, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. He's gonna clean that up. Because here's the thing: if Cat is out at the 3-point range shooting a shot, remember he has enough time and enough IQ to stop the shot and get back into position for a rebound. Because I've seen him do enough times, even when Josh Hart's in position. He still gets rebounds. He still pushes guys out of the way. So when it comes to Allen, his mindset isn't just about, hey, I need to score. If there's a 5-second play and there's an inbounder, you can throw it to Allen. Allen can step in, drive, and then take 2 seconds off. Everyone's gonna sag off. He can shoot, or he can pass into the 3 and get that point right there with an assist, because he's a good passer as well. A lot of people sag off and disrespect him and giving him space, but he'll hit it off the glass, and he's also good at that. So his mix and match is more than just an offensive 3-pointer or
right.
What's your rebuttal to that, King?
But like Cat can do more though. That's just my whole stress. Cat can just do more for a team offensively, man. That's all I'm saying. I like the pick, but Cat is just an overall total better player than Jared Allen.
Offensively, yeah, but when you look at an overall
rebounding too.
Nah.
All right, fellas, I gotta step in. The time is up. Y'all came through. Y'all showed up. Put on a show for the people. We had 3 amazing topics and 2 great debaters. Only one person will win. So next Friday, you guys will know who advances. Y'all got anything to say to the people on the way out?
Yeah, real quick. I just want to say shout out to my Uncle Freezy, Blue Orange Tears. You know, also all the guys out there. Thank you for having me on, guys. Go New York, go New York, go.
Yes, sir, Bob. All right.
Look for me on all socials at King Capers, man. See, I'm a big Oklahoma City fan. All I got to say, Oklahoma City to the finals. I was on the show with them not too long ago. Nobody's beating OKC in the entire NBA.
Yes, sir. We going to catch you back again soon. Appreciate you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. We're going to jump directly into the next battle. Before we do that, as you can see, I got Julius C and I got John D. Before we do that, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. And I do want to show you guys the next battles. It won't pop up on the screen, so I'm just going to tell you guys right now. After this, we got the kid from Ohio, Dion, versus Rishi the Great. And then capping the night off, we got Bob, Big Ox Bob, and Matty Ice. So y'all be sure to stick around for that. As of right now, though, let's go ahead and get into it. I got John D. And I got Julius C. Y'all, before we get into this, is there anything that you guys need to say? Anything you need to get off your chest?
Very excited. Very excited.
Very excited. Not gonna lie. Thanks for the opportunity, man.
Absolutely. Julius, you are a wild card. I'm happy that you filled out the application, and I'm happy to see what you got. I'm excited. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. We got 3 topics. You already know the drill. Our first topic of the day is Darius Garland versus LaMelo Ball. Who is the better point guard? John, we are going to start with you. Let's do it.
Okay, so when we compare both of these guys' stats, you look at Darius Garland's stats, he averages about 21 points per game, 7 assists on 61% true shooting. If you look at Darius Garland's stats and you compare them to LaMelo Ball's stats are a little bit more eye-popping, 26 points per game and 7 assists per game. But if you look at the average point guard in today's game, I would rather take Darius Garland because he leads a more efficient offense while being the more efficient player himself. So Darius Garland averages about 61% true shooting, and LaMelo averages about 33% on 10 of threes a night, on shooting about 3 for 10 from the three-point line, while Darius Garland is leading one of the greatest offenses the league has ever seen. According to play-by-play stats, they are top 3 in relative offensive rating. Darius Garland is also more efficient all around the court. He gets to the rim more. He's more efficient at the rim. He's a more efficient three-point shooter and a more efficient mid-range shooter. If we have the guy that's a better ball handler, better playmaker, better shooter, and somebody that gets to the teeth of the defense, because we know how dangerous it is to get to the teeth of the defense and to be able to play make out of that, to be able to finish better than somebody that is 6'7" and also be able to shoot on a dime in the mid-range, play off ball, and shoot from deep. I think Darius Garland is the better player, and I think coaches would rather build around Darius Garland because he's also been able to prove that he can lead the best offense in the league while being efficient, while not taking touches from any player around him, and leading everybody to be efficient around him, creating easier looks, and keeping the team that can depend on him a lot more as an efficient player.
At the Buzzer Sports Hoop Talk Podcast, y'all heard it first. First round from John D. Julius C, it's on you. Show them what you got.
All right, so I will admit that I looked at the stats. I'm not really a stats guy. I'm gonna say that first, but I will say that there is no average point guard in the league anymore. The average point guard is usually 6'5". Look at Luka. Luka's like 6'9", 6'7", running the point guard position. If you look at the stats, obviously LaMelo, the stats are more eye-popping, but the reason why Darius Garland is able to run the point guard position so efficiently is because of having Donovan Mitchell next to his side, having somebody like Evan Mobley, having somebody like Jarrett Allen where he can do pick and rolls, and he can have Evan Mobley sometimes take over. He can have Donovan Mitchell sometimes take over. LaMelo consistently makes his teammates better. He's made Miles Bridges better. He's made people like Trey Mann come off the bench and look better. Even Terry Rozier at one time when he played for the Hornets. So if it's a what-if scenario, but I'm going to say if you were to put LaMelo on that Cavs team, I feel like they would be doing the same exact thing, maybe even better because of LaMelo's height. And dare I say that LaMelo might be a better defender than Darius Garland. Now, when it comes to availability, they may have the same availability because they both end up getting hurt a little bit towards the end of the season. But when I say that I would rather have LaMelo, it's because he's 6'7". He can pass the ball. Not only can he pass the ball, he can also take over the offense when he needs to score, so he can have his other stars take over whenever he needs to. He averages more assists, and he's not as efficient, but that's because of the team that he's around.
First round hookups. Go ahead, John.
So I kind of anticipated the fact that we were going to talk about LaMelo not having the team around him that Darius Garland has. So I went back a few years and looked at when the Cleveland Cavaliers were a playing team, and so were the Charlotte Hornets. Darius Garland was still more efficient around the rim. He was still more efficient in mid-range. He was still more efficient in the three-point line, and the on-off numbers were still better in favor of Darius Garland. So even when Darius Garland had a lesser team without a Donovan Mitchell, he was still more impactful to his team than LaMelo Ball was. And when we look at LaMelo Ball splits, I mean, he's almost below league average everywhere he shoots. He's at best league average. When we look at around the rim, he's a -9 league average. On both corner threes, he's about -6, -8 league average percentage. And in the mid-range, he's about +3 league average. And above the break, he's about +2, +3 league average. So if we take a look at back when LaMelo Ball was leading his team to the play-in, Darius Garland was still the more efficient player, made the better decisions, was a better shot taker, made smarter decisions, and took smarter shots. So if I have a guy who, once again, with less talent compared to LaMelo's, he is still more efficient, leads a better offense, is still more impactful to his team, and is leading a better offense and a better team overall, I'm going to take Darius Garland. Because when we look at somebody like LaMelo Ball, who has a questionable shot diet, he's going to struggle in the playoffs because you're just not necessarily going to live on the playoffs off a tough shot diet, can't get to the rim, isn't great in the mid-range, doesn't finish around the rim, and holds on to the ball more than the average point guard.
Back to you, Julius. Your time to start whenever you do.
All right. So I will say that I anticipated you talking about what happened before when they first started being in the league, and I look back at that as well. LaMelo starting in the league, he had a lot of go-to things. He had a floater. He still has that floater he gets to. As far as ball handling, I will say Darius Garland is a better ball handler, but Darius Garland has consistently had a better team than LaMelo throughout the whole entirety of his career, along with the better franchise. LaMelo has been on the Charlotte Hornets, which is quite literally a poverty franchise. So it means that he hasn't had the team other than maybe one season of Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, and a good season from Miles Bridges before he got into that incident. As far as LaMelo as a point guard, LaMelo as a point guard averages more assists. He may be a little bit inefficient, but that's because of him not having the players now or before then. Darius Garland has had people that he can go to, such as Colin Sexton, such as Evan Mobley when he came. And then even when Donovan Mitchell came, he still wasn't better than LaMelo because LaMelo was able to take over whenever he needed to. He was able to consistently pass the ball whenever he needed to. And then, yeah, I will say LaMelo is sometimes inefficient, but that's because of him having to take on such a heavy load offensively. Like I said, it's a what-if scenario, but if LaMelo was on the Cavs team, he wouldn't be as inefficient. He would be a lot more efficient because he would have people he can pass the ball to. He can have people that he can hand the ball off to. He can be an even better playmaker. I believe he would average at least 10 assists if he's had at least the stars that Darius Garland has had.
Let's talk about it, fellas. You guys know the drill. This is a 3-minute round, no holds bar. Let's do it.
Okay, so I definitely understand the LaMelo not having the teammates around him, but we've seen top tier guards in the NBA carry lesser offensive players around them and still be a middle of the pack or better offense. We've seen Trae Young do it multiple seasons. We've seen James Harden do it. Tyrese Halliburton in 2022, before they made the playoffs, Tyrese Halliburton was leading that Pacers team to a really good offense. We see guards be able to uplift talent that may not be to the level of other guards that have, because they're able to spoon feed guys looks. If you look at LaMelo Ball, the way he holds on to the ball, and he's a pick and roll creator, Darius Garland has been a more efficient pick and roll creator than LaMelo Ball since he's came into the league. So if we look at what LaMelo Ball does, Darius Garland does almost all of it better. I would say LaMelo is a better transition player, but when we look at some of these guards that are just having lesser talent around them, they are still better to uplift their team than LaMelo Ball is, because once again, the shot diet. LaMelo Ball leans on a lot of tough threes. He doesn't get to the rim. And we all know in a playoff setting, being able to knock down their mid-range shot, being able to consistently get to the rim, all of that stuff is important. All of that stuff sets up easy looks for guys like Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Nick Richards when he was on the team, Mark Williams, who's a big lob threat. If he's not able to get to the rim consistently, and Darius Garland is doing that more, once again, Darius Garland's a bigger
Yo, Julius, I'm going to cut you off, John. Julius, chime in, my man.
So as far as what you're saying, I totally understand that. But when it comes to LaMelo and Darius Garland, if you were to put Darius Garland on the Hornets team, they would not be as effective as they are with LaMelo. And that's just because of the offensive ability that LaMelo has. Even though he's inefficient at times, he still has the ability to go and get a bucket whenever he needs to. And sometimes it's not what a point guard should do, but at times it's what you need to do. Because when it comes to Darius Garland, he always refers to his bigs. He refers to Donovan Mitchell, even whenever he can't get a bucket. I would actually say that Darius Garland is sometimes widely inefficient on defense, way more than LaMelo is, just because of how small he is, just because of how he hedges the pick and roll sometimes, especially against the Celtics team that they play. Every time LaMelo plays the Celtics, he always either goes off offensively and at least gets to 6 to 7 rebounds. With Darius Garland, he is very, very inefficient. Every time he plays a good defensive
John, I'm gonna kick
team.
it back to you. Y'all remember this is a back and forth.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But when we look at Darius Garland's game, I mean, even if he was to go to the Hornets, once again, he still gets downhill better. He was getting downhill better when he did not have Donovan Mitchell. He was getting downhill better when he first came into the league, better than LaMelo Ball is. And we can both say that they're not effective defenders, but I think Darius Garland shows more fight on the defensive end, besides the fact of him being, 4 inches shorter than LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has all the tools to be a solid defender, but yet he chooses not to, opposed to Darius Garland just being a small guy, and they're going to pick on him relentlessly. So once again, I would just say I'd rather have Darius Garland because he's more efficient and leads a more efficient offense ever since he came into the NBA.
That's fair.
All right, y'all. That was topic 1. The poll's gonna get ran right now. You guys talk to us and let us know who you feel did the better job between Darius Garland and LaMelo Ball. Moving on to topic 2, y'all. And before we get into topic 2, I just also do want to say that we will have an after party on Playback. The PCL is brought to you by Playback. So shout out to the good guys over at Playback. We will be there later tonight watching the Bucks and the Pistons. Y'all be sure to pull up and enjoy, or not the Bucks, my bad, the Thunder and the Pistons. Y'all be sure to pull up and enjoy with everybody that's up here. All right, let's get into it. John, you started off round 1 or topic 1. So Julius, you're going to start off topic 2. Which team would be better suited for Cooper Flagg? Your time starts when you do.
Okay, so I will say we did pick the first. We did pick the same team as in the Spurs because I feel like that would be a great team for Cooper Flagg. But the second team I picked was the Bulls, actually. And I picked the Bulls because of the guards that they have. Lonzo, even Josh Giddey, even though he gets a lot of hate for no reason exactly. I don't know why. Even Kobe White. And with the fours that they have, he can easily take over that spot, and he can have his guards help him develop even more, especially with Billy Donovan being there. He's a very good developer as a coach because he did that with the Thunder whenever he was with Russ, KD, and Harden and stuff like that. So I feel like him being on the Bulls would really help out his development. It would give him time to actually grow as a player, and not just as a player, but as a person trying to navigate his way through the NBA, dealing with Lonzo. Because when Lonzo was with the Lakers and Lonzo was with the Pelicans, he went through a lot. So I feel like he can learn a lot from Lonzo, from Kobe White, who's just now starting to figure out his NBA career with him balling like that. Even Josh Giddey getting traded or going to the Bulls, and he's balling right now too. So they all have very pass first guards that can get him the ball very efficiently. And even with the fours that are on the team right now, he can learn a lot from them. He can learn a lot from Billy Donovan. And not only that, with Lonzo is going to feed the ball to whoever wants the ball. He's going to throw those full court passes. He's going to make sure Cooper Flagg eats all the time. Now, I will say, if Lonzo isn't there, there still is Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is a above average passer. He's just like Lonzo, probably a lesser shooter, but I will say that would probably be the best team for Cooper Flagg.
All right, back to you, John. Round 1, talk to us. Who's the best team for Cooper Flagg?
So outside of the San Antonio Spurs having Victor Wembanyama, because I thought that was the obvious pick when the question was first presented to me, I look at the teams with the top 5 biggest odds in getting the number 1 pick, and I see the New Orleans Pelicans with a top 15 player in Zion Williamson. I see the New Orleans Pelicans with a guy like Trey Murphy who could space the floor, and a great coach with a lot of players that have experience in the playoffs. And I just take a look and I gaze and I say, how can Cooper Flagg play next to Zion Williamson? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. Zion Williamson is a great off-ball player. So is Cooper Flagg. Zion Williamson is great on the ball. So is Cooper Flagg. So you're telling me either way they run the pick and roll, whether it's Zion rolling, whether it's Cooper rolling, whether it's Cooper being the ball handler, whether it's Zion being the ball handler, both of these guys can make great decisions in that aspect. Both of these guys are tough to stop once they get downhill. One thing about Cooper Flagg is he's been pretty much an off-ball player his entire career. He got to Duke and they started giving him the ball more. He's been operating in pick and rolls a lot more. He's been getting downhill a lot more. He's become a really good pull-up shooter. So within the pick and roll, and you're telling me you have Trey Murphy, maybe Herb Jones to space off of that pick and roll. You also have Yves Missi in the dunker spot to throw a lob to out of guys in Cooper Flagg and Zion Williamson who can make that decision. That's a really tough duo to stop. It's a really tough duo to stop. And when we look at the Pelicans having guys like DeJounte Murray, having guys like CJ McCollum that can be moved to better build around this duo, it's almost a duo that can't be stopped. Cooper Flagg is phenomenal defensively. He's a great help side rim protector. He can win in one-on-one situations, but I'm going to save that for next round.
All right, Julius.
All right, so I'm not going to lie. I was going to pick the Pelicans too, But the reason I did not pick the Pelicans is strictly because of Zion Williamson. He is so iffy when it comes to playing games. His weight is inefficient. Unlike this season, he's been very efficient, and I will give him that. But sometimes he just varies in and out the NBA season. And even with this season, with them having a lot of injuries and stuff, I don't know how that'll turn out for Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg needs guards to be able to play in the NBA, just like any other forward in the NBA. Just like when Zion had, like I said, Lonzo turned Zion into a freaking beast, man. Zion was having his best season when he had Lonzo, and they ended up trading him. Whenever Lonzo plays with somebody that he can just feed the ball to with that type of talent, such as Cooper Flagg, such as even LeBron, it'll be 10 times better for Cooper Flagg to go to a guard-oriented team, only because of Billy Donovan being able to feed him and make plays around him with Lonzo, with Josh Giddey, with even Kobe White to take some of the distraction off of Cooper Flagg. Now, when it comes to the Pelicans, I will not lie. They do have some of the pieces to make it happen, but their organization has known to fumble a lot of pieces, such as the Brandon Ingram trade. They traded him for a six-pack, like Chilltown would say. They didn't do anything like that. Even with getting Cooper Flagg, they have been known not to get anything back. When they traded for Anthony Davis, they traded all of their pieces away and got nothing back. They didn't get to the second round, third round of the playoffs at all. So that's why I don't think he should go to the Pelicans and he should go to the Bulls.
John D, round 2 on you.
I definitely like that argument. I can understand why you would want to not really push forward the Zion and Cooper Flagg duo in New Orleans just because Zion is very injury riddled. And I could definitely understand that. But I think Cooper Flagg, once again, is going to be around enough players that can progress him as a player, even without Zion being there. Once again, because they have multiple trade assets and guys like CJ McCollum and DeJounte Murray who could be traded in the offseason. Don't necessarily know how much you would get for DeJounte Murray because he was just out for the year. And I think he's one of the most overrated players in the NBA. But you can get something back. You can get a pick, maybe a couple of really nice role players. You can get something for DeJounte Murray because the league is tricked on him. But I think Cooper Flagg is a great defender, man. And you have him, you pair him next to Yves Missy, who I think is really athletic rim protector. You have a guy in Cooper Flagg where Duke, they run this system defensively where they're rotating a lot, they're switching a lot. Cooper Flagg is already going to have a step further than a lot of prospects as a versatile defender, as a switch defender, as a rim protector, as a rebounder. And I'm going to get nasty real fast, but let's take a look at it. If we go back to multiple seasons in the NBA where teams who were playoff contenders and they get injured in one season, they like, you know what, we're going to forfeit this season. We're going to go get an NBA ready power forward and we're just going to rebuild that way. The last time we look at that and that happened, a team won a championship. They went and go grab Tim Duncan after David Robinson was out for the entire year. So you go get a guy like Cooper Flagg, who in my opinion is the most NBA ready prospect and the best prospect in the draft. So if they get the number 1 pick, pair him with Zion, great coaching, great floor spacing, you have a playoff team in itself.
All right, fellas, 3-minute round. Talk to me about Cooper Flagg and where you guys believe he should be.
All right, I'm not going to lie. Cooper Flagg being on the Bulls, other than the Spurs, would be the best option just because, like I said, I'm going to keep repeating it because of the guard consistency. Even if Lonzo gets hurt, there's Josh Giddey. Even if Josh Giddey somehow decides to get traded, there's even Kobe White who decides to take over whenever he can. There's a Billy Donovan who's a great head coach when it comes to developing prospects. Now, even with Cooper Flagg,
I don't necessarily know because like when we look at the pace of the Bulls, it has gotten a lot better, but I just don't trust their development plan just in my aspect. Because when we look at guys like Patrick Williams, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, these guys haven't really been progressed that much. Even Modest Buzelis, he's a power forward that just got drafted this past season, and they're just now playing him consistent minutes. So it's like
I will say
trying to win, and even if they're not trying to, even if they are trying to win, they're not winning. So it's like, okay, we're trying to go to the playoffs, so let's sit the young prospect in Cooper Flagg. Let's sit him. I just don't necessarily trust the Bulls front office. And once again, I'm from Chicago. If you don't know, like if Cooper Flagg,
I see the poster in the back, but yeah, I will say that the Pelicans are literally the same exact way. Sometimes they feel like, oh, maybe we should win. Oh, we're out the playoff spot. Maybe we should start losing. Especially
I think that has
Zion.
To do with injuries, though.
Yeah, and so does it. It had to do with injuries for the Bulls too. Whenever Lonzo got hurt, whenever Zach LaVine got hurt, whenever DeMar DeRozan got hurt. But now they're at a point now wherever they're just trying to rebuild. They traded Zach LaVine this season to the Sacramento Kings for literally nothing. But if they were to get Cooper Flagg, this would be a way to rebuild their team. They could literally trade Nikola Vucevic. They could trade Dalen Terry because they have a lot of forwards that they didn't do anything with, but so did the Pelicans. The Pelicans
I
aren't
get
doing
that
anything with CJ McCollum at all. He's been
100%.
there for
I
seasons and he's
understand
not
that.
doing anything.
But when we look at the Bulls, it's just it's too much, it's too little too late. Because when we look at Alex Caruso, they got back Josh Giddey, which isn't looking as bad as we thought it did this offseason. But there were teams willing to give them 3-4 first round picks at the trade deadline last year. And they were like, you know what, we're going to hold out on that. Even with DeMar DeRozan, his trade value was at its best a few years ago, and they waited till last offseason to move him. And they weren't even the team that got the picks in that trade. The same thing with Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine was trade value was at an all-time high when he got traded, and they didn't even get real picks. They got a top 10 protected pick, or they got the protections taken off their top 10 protected pick, and there was a really good chance that they would have got that pick anyway. So I still don't believe in the Bulls putting the team necessary around Cooper Flagg for him to succeed. The Pelicans, I would say, got hurt to injuries a lot more, but other than just being incompetent. I think they've always put talent on the team despite Zion having injury issues. They brought in Brandon Ingram.
But I will say that.
What's your final thoughts, Julius?
And I will say that they have tried to do that, but even with doing that, they brought in DeJounte Murray, who cannot shoot threes like at all consistently. And Zion is a post player, so they haven't done anything to bring talent around Zion consistently. So they wouldn't do it for Cooper Flagg either.
That is the end of topic 2. Let's get into topic 3, y'all. We got one more to see who will advance to the round of 16 in the PCL. The next topic that I have for you guys is who is the most improved player this year. Julius, we started with you last round. So John D, topic 3 is on you. Talk to us.
I think the most improved player is Evan Mobley. And if we look at Evan Mobley's stats, I mean, he's only gone up 3 points per game. We take a look at that. But when we really look at the offensive improvements that he has made this season as a ball handler, as a transition player, as a grab and go guy off defensive rebounds, he's really been able to take ball handling responsibilities off of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell with being a good role man, running inverted pick and rolls, being a good passer, allowing guys like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to spot up more as shooters. And it's really taken a big jump into the Cleveland Cavaliers offense, because if you look at how Evan Mobley is as a defender, we say if you're a top 3 defender in the entire league, we would just ask you to be an average offensive player, be a guy that can rebound, that has a good touch around the rim, that can catch lobs, be a good screener. But then Evan Mobley takes it and he jumps with it. He doubles his 3-point attempts this season to last. He doubles the amount that he runs in pick and rolls as the ball handler. He doubles the amount of him being a transition player and having the ball in his hand. He ups the time of possession that he has as a ball handler this season. And I don't think the stats necessarily show that, because once again, he is really finishing around the rim. He's attacking mismatches a lot more. He's putting the ball on the floor in isolations a lot more and taking responsibilities off of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. The improvements that he has made as a shooter, not even being the best shooter on the team or being a fantastic shooter, but making teams have to worry about him beyond the arc, making a few 3-pointers a game and just hitting them at a wide open rate, because nobody's going to guard him, but he's still going to knock them down. He's made major improvements as an offensive player.
Julius, round 1.
All right, so this is probably the best topic that I was very excited for, because I've been watching the Pistons, and I'm a Lakers fan, but I've been watching the Pistons for a minute, and they were absolutely shit last year. So when it comes to watching Cade Cunningham, with the improvement that he's made, it's been astonishing to see how much better of a shooter. Now, the finishing still needs a little work, but he's shooting way better from 3. He's shooting way better from just the mid-range. He's getting to his spots better. He's literally running the offense better than anything I've ever seen from a 6'7" point guard. He might be the best 6'7" point guard besides LaMelo or anybody else in the league that I've ever seen, just because of how he gets to his spots, just because of how he defends. And not only that, because of the passion that he shows in every single game that he plays. Now, when it comes to him being the most improved player above Evan Mobley, I will say that they lost, 25 games in a row last season. They were literally last in the NBA. Now they're, I think, a top 6, top 5 seed. So for him he is the reason why they have made that improvement. He's the reason why that offense is orchestrated the way that it is. He's the reason why Malik Beasley is getting all the open threes that he's able to get. He's the reason why that whole franchise has turned around. So when it comes to him being the most improved player, I feel like him and his stats and the way that he orchestrates the offense is way better than anything that he's ever done. And when it comes whenever it comes to VORP or whatever that guy said, Cade that does not matter. Cade is one of the best point guards I've ever seen.
Penn catching strays. We'll see you soon, Penn. John is back on you, round 2.
Okay, so while I do think Cade Cunningham is a fantastic player, I think he has played extremely well this season. I just don't think Cade took the jump this season. Like when we look at last year in Cade's first 25 games, he was averaging 21 points per game, 7 assists on 42, 32, 88 splits on 51% true shooting. Now, if you look at his last 20 games, he was averaging 24 points per game, 8 assists on 45, 39, 88. He was also taking 3 catch and shoot attempts at 41% a game and 5 pull-up 2-point field goals in about 47% a game. This year, he's around the same numbers, 25 points per game, about 10 assists a game, and he's still shooting 47% on pull-up 2-pointers and about 39% on catch and shoot threes. The volume is similar. The processing is similar. We just have to look at what's around Cade Cunningham to see the real improvement. The Detroit Pistons signed multiple real NBA players this offseason, whether it's Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway, and Malik Beasley, who's having a career year. And they're also they also added a very good coach in JB Bickerstaff. When we look at the Detroit Pistons last year, they were 29th in 3-point percentage, and they were 26th in 3-point attempts. This year, they're about middle of the pack, 16th in 3-point percentage, 19th in 3-point attempts. So if you're looking at Cade Cunningham, and while he has been playing amazing this season, you can look at everything around him and say that has improved way more than Cade Cunningham actually has. Not Julius Randle. Evan Mobley is actually showing signs of improvement as an offensive player with the process over the outcome.
All right, Julius is back on you, and don't let that go over your head. He basically tried to call you Julius Randle. Get him.
Nah, so I will say that while his efficiency has been around the same as last year, you have to put better pieces around somebody to improve them. Just like you did with Evan Mobley whenever they made that jump this season. They literally went on a crazy winning streak because of the jump that Evan Mobley made. But so did the Detroit Pistons. They've been on winning streaks just because of Cade, not because of anybody else, but because of Cade orchestrating the offense. Now, when it comes to Evan Mobley, I will say he is a very vital part of the Cleveland Cavaliers and what they're doing, but not as much as Cade is for the Detroit Pistons. I feel like that if you were to basically compare what Cade is doing compared to what Evan Mobley is doing, Cade is way more important, and he's took a bigger leap as far as orchestrating an offense. He's took a bigger leap as far as being able to be more passionate, showing that he cares, showing that he wants to win, showing that he wants to be that guy. And as far as last year, a lot of what people say about Devin Booker when he was first with the Suns, it was garbage stats. It was a lot of stats he was getting during garbage time. This season, he's playing every game like it's a playoff game because when he gets to the playoffs, I feel like he's going to take an even bigger jump because of his mid-range, because of his ability to catch and shoot, because of his ability to make sure that Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, and even Jalen Durant is able to get those pick-and-roll dunks. Even Isaiah Stewart has taken a jump this year because of Cade, whether it's defensively or whether it's a pick-and-roll for Isaiah Stewart to hit a dunk.
3 minutes. Let's get into it. Hold on, John. You muted. We're starting from the top. Let's go. Talk to me.
So last year, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the second worst offense in the postseason. And a lot of people were saying, including myself, to move Evan Mobley to the 5 because he just does not have the offensive versatility to be a 4 alongside Jared Allen. And I would say me and a lot of other people that said that would be wrong because the way that Evan Mobley has improved as an offensive player, he's been able to space the floor as a shooter, as a passer with the high-low game that Jared Allen and Evan Mobley do play. And I think that has made a significant jump into the Cavs offseason or into the Cavs offense. You don't just go to a middle of the pack offensive team and one of the worst playoff offenses out of those 16 teams to having a top 3 offense of all time relative to offensive efficiency. So I think Evan Mobley has a lot to do with just spacing the floor a lot more for guys like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. If you look at Donovan Mitchell's stats, it's not that he regressed. He just has lesser touches than he did last year. And that's because Evan Mobley has made a more of a contribution as an offensive player because he gets to the rim. He mismatch attacks a lot. He's gotten better in the post. He's gotten better as a pick and roll ball handler.
I'm not gonna lie. While all of this stuff is true, a lot of the reason he's gotten better is because he's been with that team way longer than Cade has been with any of his guys. For Cade to be able to maneuver through pick and rolls, through pick and pops the way that he does, for him to be able to pass the ball the way he does with the new guys that he's just gotten this season, it's crazy to see the improvement that he's done. And not only that, Evan Mobley has been needing to improve for the last 2 seasons So for Cade to do it in just one season, it's crazy for him to be able to do that. And not only with Evan Mobley doing the improvement he has, he's always had the defense, but the offense was a problem just because of him not having the motor that Cade does. Cade has the motor to play defense and offense. And I will say Evan Mobley's a better defender, but when it comes down to that, Cade has not had the team that Evan Mobley has had to help him improve. Cade has improved by himself with the terrible coach he had before JB Bickerstaff and things
But I
like
think
that.
the team has been the same though. Like majority of the team has came back from last year to this year. You can't just say because the team has gotten better around him. It's majority of the same team. I think they just brought in DeAndre Hunter over the trade deadline and they brought in Kenny Atkinson. But I've heard Ty Jerome say that Kenny Atkinson runs a player's first offense. He lets the players read and react to the game. So it's not even just the coaching and it's not even the team improvement because the team is relatively the same from last year. It's just the fact that people are giving Evan Mobley the ball more, and he's shown that he can do this a lot more than he did last season. And him getting better as a shooter, him being more confident as a ball handler, that has to do with a lot of improvement. And Kenny Atkinson is letting the players read and react. So it's Evan Mobley's decision to go attack these mismatches. It's Evan Mobley's decisions to go play in the pick and roll. It's Evan Mobley's decisions to take these 3-pointers a lot more.
I'm gonna kick it back over to you, Julius, for the last little bit.
And that's why I'm saying for Cade didn't have any of these players. It comes with a lot of teammate chemistry, a lot of team morale. So for him to have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen for like the last 2 to 3 seasons, it makes a lot of sense for Cade to be the most improved player because he didn't have any of the players he had. So that's why I think he's better.
And there we have it, y'all. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Appreciate y'all for doing y'all thing. Yo, Julius, where you from?
I'm from Port Arthur, Texas. It's a small city, but
okay. Appreciate you for coming up and putting on. We had 2 Laker fans. I should have thrown in a Laker topic, but hey, it is what it is. On the way out, do you guys have anything to say?
Julius, much respect to you, bro. Like I'm telling you, my first time as a wild card, heart beating, can't even get through my notes. I'm reading the chat, I'm stuttering. So once again, much respect to the people that come up here and just debate, with people that have been doing it much longer than them, being able to just block the chat because they could be very negative at times. They could be very positive as well. So once again, they can be. So once again, much respect to you, bro, for coming up here once again, bro. 100%.
Yeah, and I will say I watch almost every episode. So whenever you were talking about it, I think it was the Curry episode with the 4,000 threes when you were like, much respect to the wild card. I appreciate that, man. So I will say thanks to Players Choice for having me up. I hope I can do this again, and I will be on Playback for the after party just to conversate.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's your name in the chat, Julius?
Julius C. It's the same thing. Julius Charles.
C. Yeah. All right, man. We'll look out for you in the chat, and we'll look out for you potentially in the round of 16. We'll see who moves on to the next round later this week. All right, y'all. Before we get to the next matchup between the kid from Ohio and my man Rishi the Great, I do got to let y'all know we'll be watching this game tomorrow after the PCL, which is going to be at the same time. But tonight, we will be on Playback at 7 p.m. Eastern time to watch the Oklahoma City Thunder play against the most improved player, Cade Cunningham. Y'all pull up and watch this masterclass between 2 star point guards, SGA and Cade Cunningham. In the meantime, we have a star matchup between what I think is the battle of the day. I got Rishi the Great, and I got the kid Dion from Ohio. Y'all talk to us right quick before we get into everything. How y'all feeling?
Great. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. Am I audible? Like,
Nah, you
could
good?
you guys hear me?
You hot? We can hear you.
Yeah, I feel a little nervous, but yeah, because Dion's a really strong opponent, so I want to do my best.
All right, well, I got full confidence in you. Dion, you didn't been here before, so you know what time it is. First, we're going to start out with a very good topic. Which duo is better, J-Dub and Chet or Garland and Mobley? Dion, you going to kick things off. You got 90 seconds, and you know your time starts when you do.
Yeah. So I've been hearing a whole bunch of little rambling going on last couple of episodes, you know what I'm saying? And also the last couple of rounds, y'all been, rambling about some stuff. But the obvious answer when it comes down to this is Mobley. I want to talk about Mobley first. I think Mobley is probably better than both of the other 2 guys put together. the thing about Mobley is it's his defense and his offense. Like when you look at this dude, like I honestly right now I'm lost of words because like he's a top 2 defender in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see that many defenders right now better than Mobley. I mean, his versatility, you know, him able to guard the perimeter and also inside the paint. He's an amazing player, and his offense is 1,000% better now than it was last year. I mean, spreading the court, shooting a three. You guys heard a lot, you know, last episode. Shooting a three, you know, getting to the perimeter. You know, now that this guy's a 6'11", 7-foot, you know, center, he can orchestrate the offense. You know, this dude's throwing alley-oops. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you have a 7-footer throwing alley-oops? It's amazing. So Evan Mobley, you know what I'm saying, is by himself. I'm not even gonna get to Garland. By himself is better than J-Dub and Chet put together. And it's really not close. Look for Evan Mobley to be a top 5 player, bro, in the next, like, literally the next season or two, honestly. Go ahead, brother.
Rishi, it's on you. Kick us off, my man.
Okay, before I start, I want to tell all of you that I'm biased for great defensive duos. Like I love MJ and Pippen. I love, you know, Sidney Moncrief and all defensive duos. I love them. So I love Chet and Jada more because they're so versatile defensively. You can put them on a guard, put them on a center. It doesn't really matter. They're great in that aspect, and I think it's unfair for me to compare Chet's current season stats because he's not really played. So I'm going to compare Chet's overall career to Evan Mobley. I think he's a better three-point shooter than Evan Mobley throughout his career so far. I love how Chet's aggressiveness is towards the rim. I just think he reminds me a lot of Wemby, my favorite player. He's like a budget Wemby. So I guess that's always like a W for the organization when you got a player like that. And J-Dub is just like amazing getting to the rim, you know, amazing perimeter defense. Yeah, for me, it's not even a question. It's these two.
Round 2, Dion.
It's there's not a question because Garland and Mobley's better by a mile. You know what I'm saying? And you say he's an off-brand Wemby. I would say Chet is an off-brand. I'll say Chet's an off-brand Mobley. Mobley just does everything better than Chet. I mean, he plays defense better. You know what I'm saying? He's more impactful on the inside. Chet, you know, being a skinnier guy, man, I mean, he gets pushed around against bigger guards inside the league. So, like, I mean, if you are a top center of the league, you're going to push Chet around. You got LeBron James putting the elbow into the chest into him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I see LeBron James kind of struggle against guys like Evan Mobley this season and things of that nature. So, I mean, I think Evan Mobley has took another step on defense to the point that it's really just up to him and Wemby. You know, Chet, the thing about him is over the last couple of seasons, he's been kind of injured. So you have to look at it from the standpoint that, you know what I'm saying, I can't really trust Chet, you know what I'm saying, to play the games and put the team on his back like how I can trust Evan Mobley. You know, OKC, you know, they lost Chet for majority of this season. And as you see right now, they're still the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? That's with SGA, all these guys like that. You know what I'm saying? And the question is Chet even, you know, the best center on his team right now? You know what I'm saying? You got other guys on his team that is arguably better at the center position than him. So you got to think about that as well. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Cavaliers, they're the number 1 seed inside the East, and it's all on the back of Evan Mobley. You know, he's the anchor of that defense. You know what I'm saying? A top 6 defense inside of the league. So it gets real dangerous. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about Garland, and I haven't even got to Garland yet. I'm going to get to Garland next round. I just want to continue with Evan Mobley.
Rishi, round 2. Let's do it.
Yeah, same argument can be put for Evan Mobley and, you know, Jarrett Allen. So it's not only Chet, I think he's clearly the best center in his team. Offensively, he's better than Hartenstein, in my opinion. He's a better floor spacer. He's a better vertical defender than many people in the league, especially Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley has been better offensively this season, but to me, Chet's ceiling is way better than Evan Mobley. Getting to Jalen Williams, I think Jalen Williams is better than Garland because Garland might be a better ball handler, but I think getting to the rim, the mid-range versatility around with his defense, all that for me is plus points for why Jalen Williams is better than Garland. And coming back to Chet, about him getting bullied, I think he handled well against Jokic, like most of his matchups with Jokic, something that Wemby can't say, to be honest. Yes, he has good defenders around him, but I feel like if you see his stats, when he's on the court with OKC, they're pretty much all-time great defense. Same with J-Dub, when he's on the court, they're an all-time great defense. So I'm biased for defense.
All right, fellas, it is round 3. We got 3 minutes for you guys to go back and forth. I'm gonna get out your way and y'all do your thing.
All right, so let me speak first, bro, and you be quiet, bro. And then when I get done talking, you can talk, I guess. But if you don't talk, that's fine too. Again, about Jalen Williams, bro, this is the thing about him. Now, Jalen Williams is awesome, right? Don't get me wrong, right? He's cool, but Darius Garland's better, and you try to say that, Jalen Williams is better from the mid-range three-point. No. Darius Garland is more efficient from the three-point line. And also, he takes more than also what's called Jalen as well. So Darius Garland is better at the three-point line than Jalen. He's more efficient than him on offense. I can trust him to run the entire offense. You're shaking your head right now, but the numbers are right here. I mean, Garland's averaging 21 and 7 compared to Jalen Williams. I mean, at the point that I'm trying to say is Darius Garland is actually moving the offense a lot better. You know what I'm saying? He's averaging more assists. And then
Rishi, I gotta step in, DR. Rishi, do you have a response?
I didn't say 3-point shooting. Like I said, mid-range and getting to the rim. He's way better than Garland. And Garland in the playoffs, I can see him getting targeted defensively. I can't see these two getting. I can't see any of the OKC players getting targeted defensively. They're all really good defensively, especially Jalen Williams and Chet. But you can go on.
Listen, Mobley is better between those two defenders. I have the best defender out of all the guys. Mobley's the best. Yeah, he is. He's better than Chet and he's better than Jalen. Right. And then now again about Darius Garland, man, he's actually running an offense and he's more in tune with that offense compared to OKC. You're looking at a guy that has SGA, the top player inside the league right now on OKC. That guy's out there giving you 30 plus points, man. You know what I'm saying? The Cleveland Cavaliers are more orchestrated and they're more even throughout their roster. So Darius Garland takes on a lot more on the offensive end than J-Dub. And then again, J-Dub's better on defense. That's totally fine. But when you look at Evan Mobley, how he's impacting the team, and how Darius Garland and Evan Mobley is more important to the Cavaliers than Chet and Jay Williams is right now as we speak.
No, that's all fine. But I think Evan Mobley has just got better offensively, and that's because Chet didn't even play half of the season.
And that's a concern, though. He's not playing half of the season. My guy's playing 60 plus games. Your guy hasn't played. He played over just 20 just now. So that's a problem. That's a problem. Now we're looking at how can we depend on somebody going to the playoffs, right? And Evan Mobley game has become more mature than anybody else, and you got to take that account. So again, man, Evan Mobley, man, and Darius Garland, man, are looking awesome. They're more important to their team compared to the other squad. You know what I'm saying? Like again, bro, like OKC's the number 1 seed, and they only had him for 20 games. They only have him for 20 games. If Evan Mobley sits, bro, the Cavaliers is bottom of the East.
All right, y'all. That is the end of topic 1. In chat, just to let y'all know, I'm biased, but personally, I think one of these two is making a run to the championship. So we have a heavyweight debate going on right now before our very eyes. Y'all make sure y'all lock in, subscribe, and like the video. We are moving on to topic 2 between Dion and Rishi the Great. We got the Knicks versus the Bucks. Who wins in a playoff series? Dion, you started topic 1, so Rishi, you kick this topic off.
I think the Knicks are better overall than the Bucks. The Bucks, they depend too much on Giannis. Like if Giannis gets a crazy game, they win. I know they got like Kuzma and Dame, but Dame, especially we've seen his history in playoffs, it's not really that good. past the first round. So most likely these two will face in the second round. I got the clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson. You got Cat, who looked very good in last year's playoffs, in defensively and offensively. I know he's pretty bad defensively this season, but you know, you can't really guard Giannis. Giannis is one of those players you got to give in. But with the exception of him, you got Miles McBride from Knicks who's been guarding pretty good. You got OG Anunoby, Miles Bridges, who are all reputed defenders. They can get rebounds too. Cat's a really good rebounder. They got clutch points from Jalen Brunson. I just think overall they're just better than the Bucks, and the Bucks are trash because they have a trash ass coach too. So.
All right, let's go, Dion. It's back on you.
You're
Round one.
you're getting packed up now because you didn't say nothing, bro, and I had to sit there and listen to you again, bro. Let me just say this right now, bro. Giannis, bro, is a top 3 player in the world, top 2 player in the world right now, and arguably, bro, the best player in the world. And guess what? I got him on my team. You know what I'm saying? So not only is Giannis the best player in the world, he's going to be the best player on offense and defense inside of that series. So we got a guy that's going to be phenomenal on both sides of the ball. You can't match that with Giannis. And then another thing, your roster. You don't have enough bodies to throw at Giannis for a 7-game series. You don't have enough. You're going to throw OG at him. Who are you going to throw at him? Well, Cats cannot guard Giannis inside the paint. If Giannis is going to the rim consistently, and we already know Cat. I know he gets it on the offense end, with the charges, but he's one of the biggest leaders in fouling inside the league. When Cat gets going, he's very uncomfortable. He gets the fouling, and then he gets out of the game. Once Cat's out the game, who are you going to put on Giannis, bro, in that entire series? Giannis going to average like 50 points, like 12 rebounds, 13 assists. Is going to get ridiculous. And then another thing, Giannis' whole entire game has that's it. Oh, is time going? Oh, I thought the time was up.
Nah, keep going.
My fault. Yeah, it was acting out. Listen, Giannis, bro, when it comes to Giannis, bro, I'm going to say this. His entire game has developed on every single way. So now, in the side of the playoff series, you can't double Giannis. Giannis knows how to pass out the double team, right? He's a way better passer than he used to be inside, say a couple years ago. So if you try to double Giannis, you can't do that. He's going to pass out of it, right? And then on top of that, when you look at Damian Lillard, that's another guy I'm going to talk about the next round. But Damian Lillard is going to be a big problem in this series, and I will tell you guys why.
Back to you, Rishi. Let's do it.
As I told, I'm conceding Giannis. Like Jokic, like you have to concede for those type of players. You don't really have a matchup for them. But again, overall, I think Giannis has faced the Knicks. He's never got a game like that. Like you're telling like 50 and all, like I know it's hyperbole, but he's never gone, crazy like that. Like usually the Knicks take care of them pretty effortlessly. I think their defense is a little bit worse than last year because they added Cat and lost some of their defenders, but still their defense is still better than the Bucks because you're telling who's going to guard Giannis, who's going to guard Jalen Brunson. Like Dame ain't guarding Jalen Brunson unless he becomes a different player. And OG Anunoby is a pretty good 3-point shooter. Knicks got 3-point shooters galore. Bucks are hoping Giannis go crazy, which is pretty unrealistic sometimes, especially in playoffs like this. I know Giannis has a great playoff record, but still, I think the Knicks are better overall. Defensively, you can slightly give it to the Bucks, but offensively, I think Knicks are just better than the Bucks.
So what I have to say to that, man, is I don't think you understand the importance of Giannis, and I want to talk about Dame. Now, in this type of setting, in this type of playoff setting, I think Dame can outplay Jalen. And I'm not saying Dame's better than Jalen Brunson, but I think Dame can outplay Jalen Brunson inside of a playoff series. And the thing about it is, man, Dame looks a lot more comfortable with his Milwaukee Bucks team in his second year. When you look at his game now, man, it's more polished. He's making the right play. You know what I'm saying? His efficiency is very up now than it used to be. You know what I'm saying? I can see Dame, you know what I'm saying, playing better than Jalen Brunson. And you have to question, man, Jalen Brunson's still out. You know what I'm saying? He has an ankle injury, you know, and the Knicks having three of the top 10 most players when it comes to minutes in the side of the league. How is that going to transition inside the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we've seen them run out of gas last year against the Pacers. We've seen what happened to them against the Pacers when they ran out of gas. Bro, he's pushing them way too much minutes, bro. They're suffering, bro. Guys like Mikal Bridges, bro, is even coming out complaining. You have everybody inside the Knicks, bro. They're playing too many minutes. And another thing, bro, we're more deep than you guys, right? Our bench and everybody on side of our bench, like Kevin Porter, all those guys, they produce more on a given night, right? You guys are bottom 25th? You guys are bottom 25 when it comes to points production off the bench. And then also the Bucks are top 14. So, you know what I'm saying? We are a more complete team. You know what I'm saying? We're not relying heavy on our starters, you know what I'm saying, to play a lot of minutes. And that's going to produce more production for the whole entire team inside the playoffs.
It's round 3, fellas. You know what to do.
Yeah, I think Tom Thibodeau has improved. It's not like he's playing everyone still for like 48 minutes.
No, he's still playing by. Did you know what I said, bro? I said 3 of the top 10 players on the Knicks is playing the most minutes. You got 2 guys playing more minutes than Jokic, and Jokic is the best player in the league on that Denver Nuggets team, and they're horrible. You have guys coming out. Mikal Bridges, Iron Man. He's saying that he's playing too much minutes, bro. You see guys in injury. How long is OJ going to hold up? How long is OG going to hold up in the side of a series, bro? You already know he battles injuries, bro. Cat Bro's already fragile as well. So you have guys inside that type of series that, like, you can't trust these guys to play these heavy minutes, bro. They run out of gas. One question for you can answer it. Was the Knicks better than the Pacers last year? Answer the question, yes or no. What did you think? Was the Knicks better than the Pacers last year?
They were, but they were ridden with injuries.
So why did they lose? Because of what?
Injuries, but Thibodeau's improved.
Injuries and what else? Exactly, injuries and what else? Because they ran out of gas. They didn't have any gas because, bro, he's playing them 41 minutes a night, playing them so much a night. That's not going to end well inside of a playoff series. Now you got guys like Giannis, bro. He's equipped for that. You can play guys heavy minutes out of
right quick, Dion. Go ahead, Rishi. You got a point you're trying to make.
Are the Pacers better than the Bucks? Because without what you're saying, like we had Knicks had injuries too. Last year they beat Bucks pretty easily, 6 games, I guess. No, but your whole argument is Giannis, and Giannis has to go 50 and all. But that's pretty unrealistic. I think the Knicks, you know, so far, whenever they played the Bucks, they've handled them pretty comfortably. I don't think they've struggled.
Yes, and I'm happy you said that. You know why? Because guess what? What did the Knicks do to the Miami Heat 2 years ago? Right? They won inside of the regular season. And what happened to the Knicks inside the playoffs 2 years ago? What did Miami do to them? Right. So it don't matter what they do in the playoffs. What are the Knicks going to do inside of the playoffs? Not the regular season, bro. Right. We've seen the examples of the Knicks, you know, beating teams up inside the regular season and then losing inside the playoffs, bro. You're the Knicks, bro. Y'all don't get it done. Especially in the second round, bro, against Giannis, bro, a legendary player, bro, an all-NBA player, bro. He's one of the top 5 players of this generation. You think he's going to lose to the Knicks, bro? Jalen Brunson? Are you kidding me?
You're going by one player.
Bro, I'm going by the whole. I just told you we have more bench production, so we can go by one player, go by 2 players. We have more bench production than you guys. You guys are relying on 5 players. We're relying on a deeper bench, right? And I'm not even a Milwaukee Bucks fan, but this is just facts. We got a way deeper lineup than you guys, bro. You're relying on 5 people a night.
Rishi, take away the last 15 seconds.
Well, your whole argument's Giannis. I could do the same for Jalen Brunson. Who's gonna guard Jalen Brunson? He could average 35 on Dame's head. Like, what we're talking about. Knicks and 6.
All right, y'all. That was topic 2. Things got a little heated, and I expected to boil over to topic 3. Y'all remember, after this debate, we have one more debate. We got Matty Ice versus the biggest of Oxes. And then after that, later tonight, we have a Playback after party. Remember, the PCL is brought to you by Playback. We have an after party tonight. The Thunder versus the Pistons, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Y'all be sure to pull up. All right, let's get into it, y'all. We got the final topic between Dion and Rishi. This is what we're looking at. What is the best situation for Kevin Durant to be traded to? Rishi, we started with you last round. Dion, we're gonna start with you this round. Talk to us.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been fun tonight, bro. And I got, you know what I'm saying, I got KD, bro, going to the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? I really, really want to see, bro, that KD and Ant, you know what I'm saying, duo again, you know what I'm saying? And their relationship, bro, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to KD, it's really not it's about basketball fit, and we'll get to that with this team, but when it comes to KD, you gotta know KD, right? Like, and he's a challenging player to understand. Like, and he you know, he lets it be known on social media and stuff like that. But what I mean by that is, you know, KD just doesn't go play with anybody. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a bond with KD for KD to want to come to your team. You know what I'm saying? I just think Ant and, you know, KD has that. You know, like. Ant's like his little brother, you know. So I really want to see that duo match up. I think he fits well with the team. You know what I'm saying? Like having a back line of like Rudy Gobert. I think Rudy Gobert as a defender, you know what I'm saying, can really help KD, because I feel like on the Phoenix Suns right now, they got Mason Plumlee. You know, you got a 36, 37-year-old KD doing way too much work on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? That puts a lot of pressure on his body. I think he needs to go to a team that's really high on defense. You know, a lot of young cats. You can put Ant on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? I know we gotta sign Naz Reid again. You know, he is a free agent in the offseason. So if you want to sign him back to the team, get him back on the squad, I would like that with KD. You know what I'm saying? And we could if we have
gotta mute you, Dion. Your time is up. Rishi, round one. Where's the best situation for Kevin Durant to be traded to?
I think first we got to understand what KD wants. Like, he usually gets traded to teams where, he's feeling that's the type of basketball he wants to play, or that's the type of situation he wants to play. Golden State, he wanted championships. He wanted to play that style of play. Then he got pissed off from that, and then he wanted to be the number one in a championship team. He went to Brooklyn. Then he went to Phoenix again to be number one. But I think KD at this point of his career isn't really thinking about championships. I know it sounds weird, but I think at this point, seeing how he talks, seeing how he talks about the game, how he talks about players and all, I think he would like to join a team like the Houston Rockets, a young team, that's going for the second round. I know people would be thinking like Mavs, Lakers, or like even big teams like that, but that would make them super teams. I think Mavs is a pretty bad destination for him, because you got AD, you got Kyrie, uncertainties like Brooklyn, so he wouldn't want to go there. Lakers, you got Luka and LeBron. I don't know what Lakers will give for him, considering they got Luka for nothing. But if he goes there, Luka's the number one. In the Houston Rockets, he's pretty much the number one option. He has a young core, and they got assets also. They got Phoenix too. So
back to you, Dion. Talk to us.
Bro, you did not. So what team, bro? You didn't give me a specific team. You didn't give me a specific team. You named like 3 teams, bro. Unless I heard something different, you didn't name a specific team that you wanted Kevin Durant to go to. I have a specific team that I want KD to go to, right? And the thing about it is, bro, you know what I'm saying? Even go back to the cat trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, their original plan, man, is to get cap space. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to go to the second apron, bro. They didn't want to be, with their hands tied. So they got rid of cap, bro. So they need to have an agent star that's, on a 1-year deal that they can actually, capitalize off of and get the most value out of. So, like, that's why Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? I know we have to give, some picks. Like I said, 3 first-round picks that they're trying to say. They're trying to get rid of McDaniels, you know what I'm saying? And again, McDaniels, man, he has not, took that next step on the offensive end. I feel like Minnesota would want them to take. And when it comes to their picks, man, they're middle of the pack when it comes to the Western Conference. So I don't feel like their first-round picks is even going to be important. So why not go ahead and take a chance at bringing KD in? And if you don't succeed, you know what I'm saying, you still can go ahead and get KD out of there, after a 1-year deal, or if you do want to sign, and you still can rebuild with Anthony Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Edwards is so young right now that it's like, why not go ahead and give that a shot? And again, like I said before, Rudy Gobert, man, is still going to be a top defensive player inside the league. So you have that. You have guys like Ant, bro. These guys are motivated to play defense. The last thing Minnesota is missing is a top scorer that can go out there and give you 30 points, in the playoffs and inside the regular season. So again, man, I just feel like if they can make it work, I don't know the circumstances, but they can make it work, it'd be great, man.
Dion cooking. Rishi, it's up to you. What you gonna do in the kitchen, my man?
I answered the question. I told the Rockets. Again, they have a young core. KD was talking a lot of good stuff about Ime Udoka, about how his system was, how he would like to play for him. I think that's enough justification why he would want to play there. Whenever he talks praise about some players or some coaches, especially, he'll most likely go there. Again, I don't think Minnesota have the trade option, like much, you know, investment to give to the Phoenix Suns. Rockets, on the other hand, they got Phoenix 2 picks. They got some players like Cam Whitmore who they can give to Phoenix if they want to for Kevin Durant. You're looking at the Mavs, Lakers. They don't really have much, and plus, if KD goes to those teams, he's pretty much not going to be the number one option, and he cares about his public image. Clearly, Kevin Durant. I think he would not want to be in another situation where he's not the number one option or he's getting carried, quote unquote, by his teammates. I think in the Rockets, he's in a young team. He's clearly the number one. He can give them playoff experience. If he takes them deep enough, I think people will have respect for them. Plus, I think Kevin Durant's at a stage of his career where he like to, groom some players. No homo.
Yo. All right. Yo, this round 2?
No, this round three, man.
This round 3. All right, here we go. All right, we got 3 minutes on the clock. Let's get to it, fellas.
Okay, a couple things, man. I don't think Kevin Durant's timeline matches with the Houston Rockets, man. I think what they got over there with the younger guys, real younger guys, I think they'll let them work, let them see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're a top 4 team inside of the West right now. You know what I'm saying? And again, you said that you don't think KD wants. You think KD still wants to be the number, bro? He's 36, 37, bro. He does not want to be the number one option. That's the problem right now. You know what I'm saying? In Phoenix, bro, Devin Booker is supposed to be that number one option. You know what I'm saying? To take pressure off of KD. Guys like LeBron, Kevin Durant, and these guys now, they want to take a step back. They want to not have as much pressure. They want a young cat, bro, that's gonna be like, okay, I'm a killer. I'm gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like just how now with Luka and LeBron, it's the same type of thing. Go ahead.
Situation is different though. Like you look at everywhere in his career, he gets shitted on like, oh, he won 2 chips, but you're not the number one. He's always like self-aware of his image. So I'm assuming that he wouldn't want to go to a team where they're title contenders, but he's not the clear number one because he's a guy who clearly cares about his image. He's a guy who clearly cares about legacy talks, all that. I know it's a bit narrative driven, but with Kevin Durant, you have to go with that lane. I thought the Rockets because even if the Rockets don't win a championship, like Kevin Durant might still get credit for developing some of these young players like Amen Thompson. Jalen Green could go in the trade, but Sengun, all these young players, he could get credit for developing these guys, which might help his image a little bit, which is the line of thought I went with. So.
I gotta be honest with you, bro. I think KD don't give a damn about his image no more. He didn't give a damn about his image, man, when he went to a 7-3-9 Warriors team, bro. He didn't care then. He doesn't care now, bro. And the thing about it is, bro, that that honeymoon stage of, oh, can KD get it done without the Warriors? You know what I'm saying? We don't care about it no more, bro. We know he's old. He's past that. He's past that hill, man. Now and again, and KD's still that guy, and that's why I want a contending team to take a chance on him because he is still that guy. You know what I'm saying? He still give you 28, 7 and 5, whatever the numbers is. But the point about it is that like he wants to take that step back, bro, and want a guy to go out there and be the leader of the pack. You know what I'm saying? That's always been KD. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the leader. I want to go out there and hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where KD is now. And I don't think he wants any part of him being the guy in a moment at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he wants to share that with a upcoming star for sure.
I think the Wolves don't have much trade package compared to the Rockets. The Rockets literally have 2 Phoenix picks, which helps their case of getting KD. Plus, if you're giving away, already the Wolves are pretty down on bench strength and also. I think Houston's a better choice.
The Rockets
Mavs,
gonna be a completely different team, bro. I don't know that.
All right,
it's
fellas.
80.
It has been a pleasure. One of you guys will go on to win this matchup, and one of you guys will go on to win the whole PCL by my prediction. But in the meantime, it was a pleasure. Do you guys have anything to say on the way out?
Man, bro, pleasure being back, man. It feels great, man. Hey, man, and make sure the rest of y'all rounds, bro, y'all coming up, bro. I want to see some more fierce, man. I see too many buddy around here, bro. We're not here for no buddy, none of that, bro. And again, I appreciate you, Raj. I appreciate you coming out, bro. You did your thing out here tonight, bro. But again, nobody here buddy. I want to see more competitive spirit out of all y'all, bro. For real. I'm out. Peace. Appreciate you, Ron.
All right, Dion. Big Ox, Matty Clark, I hope y'all hear that. Dion just called y'all out, and he called the rest of you jive turkeys out, too. Rishi, you have anything to say on the way out?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I got picked. I always see you guys. I've been seeing from the old, PC days. Been a big fan. Not a member because pretty broke.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
hey, Rishi, we need you to come kick it with us on the panel one of these days. When the playoffs start, my man, we're gonna get you on the panel after you win the whole PCL and do your victory lapping and whatnot. We need you to take the belt from Mars.
yeah, I
All
hope
right,
I
my
win
man.
against Dion. But
Well, we'll see.
yeah,
Next Friday, we will announce it. And so,
thank you.
best of luck to you. We'll see how the judges feel, and we'll see how the viewers feel. In the meantime, you really came up and held it down. So we'll catch you soon, my man.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks.
All right, y'all. Just a couple quick reminders before we get into the last matchup of the night. Remember, this is the PCL. This is the 32 best contestants on earth, and this is a $5,000 cash prize on the line for whoever makes it the distance. Now, obviously, today is Saturday, March 15th. We will be back tomorrow at the same time, March 16th, for some more heavyweight matchups. Tuesday, March 18th, we will be back for some more round of 32 matchups. And then Wednesday, March 19th, we will be ending the round of 32. So y'all be sure to pull up. And last but not least, after this, we have a playback after party, the Thunder versus the Pistons at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We need y'all to show up and show out. Everybody that's on Twitter watching this and everybody that's on YouTube watching this, come to playback after. All the contestants from today will be up there to recap their matchups, and it should be a good time. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. We got Big Ox versus Matty Ice. Let's do it, y'all. Oh, that's how Big Ox feeling. Matty said you will not one up me.
I'm wishing you some luck, my brother. Come on, man.
Okay. They both came with the props, man. Let's get into it,
y'all.
Ain't
no props. Address me correctly, man. King Ox.
Oh, it's not Big Ox no more. It's King Ox.
King Ox.
King Ox on the PCL stage, y'all. Let's get into it. The first topic that we got today is Wemby versus Anthony Davis. This is a hot topic. It was earlier this season, and it still is. Wemby versus Anthony Davis. Big Ox, you are going to kick us off. Who is the better big man, but ultimately, who's the better player?
Okay. I'm ready when you're ready, Ron. Okay, so obviously the answer to the question is who is better between Anthony Davis and Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis on this one. I'm going to start on defense. Both of these dudes are obviously top 5 defenders in the NBA. You can't even, you can't debate against that, right? I do think Anthony Davis edges Victor Wembanyama out, and this is why. You look at the blocks from Victor Wembanyama, and it's impressive, but blocks aren't everything. Anthony Davis is actually playing solid defense, not just chasing blocks. He's staying down, staying vertical, meeting guys at the rim, just being an overall rim protector, not just stat padding by chasing blocks. Also, he's stronger on the block. He's much bigger. He's just more physical, more aggressive down there. So he's not really going to get bullied. I'm not saying Victor gets bullied, but you can't just bang AD all day and have your way with him. That's not going to be a winning formula. Also, on the perimeter, Anthony Davis is moving his feet, beating guys at spots, turning them. He's playing solid defense all around on the perimeter. Victor Wembanyama, on the other hand, he's actually getting cooked out there on the perimeter. He's relying on recovery. He's relying on recovery to make up for his lack of ability to stay in front. I just don't think that relying on recovery is a recipe for success.
All right, Maddie, talk to us.
Yeah, so about backing down Wemby, you cannot do that to Wemby because this is not 1995. The game is not played that down low in the post anymore. Yeah, AD, I think, is the better defender. I'm going to give you that 100%. At the same time, you said yourself, Fox, these are both top 5 defenders in the game that we're talking about now. Anthony Davis, arguably the best. Wembanyama, top 3, wherever y'all got him. These guys are in similar stratospheres as defenders. It's just Anthony Davis is more versatile in that aspect. But Victor Wembanyama, the real separator for him isn't that tight gap that there is on defense. It's the bigger gap that there is on offense. So, again, the modern NBA – it's really revolving around these unicorns that are becoming the best players in the league. Like, we never seen like a big like Jokic before, and he's able to, pass like no other, and he's widely regarded as the best in the league, with the exception of David Robinson. We've never seen a Giannis before. So like to have the athleticism and size of that body and have that dominant force down low, Giannis is a unicorn. Wembanyama is a unicorn. We've never seen somebody at 21 years old, be able to put the ball on the floor the way Wemby does, be able to shoot the midi the way Wemby does. Wemby is shooting 40% from the midi this year on about 5 attempts. That is great for a second-year player, especially when we're talking about a guy who's having to deal with an interim head coach. His coach had a stroke midseason, and he's had to deal with that. He's had to deal with multiple injuries and roster turnovers throughout the year as well.
All right, Big Ox is back on you. Round 2. Talk to us.
Yeah, any health situations with Pop, I'm saying that's terrible, but that's not Anthony Davis's fault. When it comes to the offensive end of the court, I look at Anthony Davis as water. Victor Wembanyama is Powerade. There's Anthony Davis is a guy that you can ride. As an offense, we could dump it to AD. We can get AD all game, and he could keep us in a point to where we can win this game. He's going to put us in a situation where at the end of the game we have action. And Powerade on the other end, that's not something that you could just drink all the time. You know what I'm saying? At the end of that's something that you count on when I'm already gassed and I need some fake electrolytes and a whole bunch of sodium and sugar to just boost me up. I'll kick it to you in basketball terms, Matt. You seem like you're not following me. So what I'm saying is, on the offensive end, when Victor Wembanyama throughout the game, he might end at the end of the third quarter might have 10 points, 11 points in that fourth quarter. Then out of nowhere, hit a couple of transition threes and boom. So box score merchants will think, oh man, Victor Wembanyama was cooking. Well, I think when you play that way, that style of offense, you're more susceptible to be unstable. You know what I'm saying? Not consistent. I think that's the difference between Anthony Davis and Victor Wembanyama. We got a big man that's more polished, more able to carry a squad offensively. He averages 2 more points than Victor Wembanyama also.
Matty Ice, back to you. Round 2. What do you like more, water or Powerade?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. There was like 5 metaphors in there. I was trying to follow them, but just keeping it what are they doing on the court? When Wembanyama's on the court, the Spurs have a top 12 defense in the league. And considering the defenders that they've surrounded Wembanyama with, that is very impressive to me. Look at what Anthony Davis did with the Lakers this year. They were one of the bottom defenses in the league, actually, before they traded him. I'm not saying that he made that defense worse. I'm saying that with better defensive help, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith for periods of time, LeBron during stretches, I would take that over Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, all these guys who are okay defenders, nothing crazy. Anthony Davis, when he's on the court, I don't think he's having as big of an impact just overall as Victor Wembanyama in the year 2025. I mean, again, the Spurs don't have this type of help that Anthony Davis has. I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right. Y'all know what time it is. It is the last round, which means we got 3 minutes to go back and forth. Y'all do y'all thing.
I'm confused about what help it is that Anthony Davis had on the defensive end of the floor prior to Vando getting healthy, DFS being traded. I mean, LeBron James was pretty pedestrian for the first, 3 quarters of the season. He just now pretty much stepped it up. I would say late January, early February, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're just talking about that, then I mean, it's just better than what Wembanyama has had around him.
Right.
Sure, it's comparing
Matty, that's a point that I've been hearing all season. It's always about the off-on numbers for Victor Wembanyama and Anthony Davis. Now, inferior team does not make you a superior player. You know what I'm saying? If he has an inferior team. Well, I mean, but if he has an inferior team, they've been playing like an inferior team all year. So it's not like he made an inferior team superior. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis's defensive help, it hasn't been great. I mean, mind you, they just got Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah. Vando just got healthy.
Yeah. Again, but in a vacuum, Wembanyama, you said that Anthony Davis is a more polished offensive player. When was the last time Anthony Davis has been the best offensive player on his team? Wembanyama this year showed
the last game he played. The last game he played against Houston. Maybe you didn't watch, Matty. I don't know.
No.
I think me in the chat, we watched that.
He played one game with the Dallas Mavericks. All right. I'm mostly ignoring that extremely small sample size. I'm kind of only focusing on Lakers Anthony Davis here. Victor Wembanyama has been the best offensive player for the Spurs all season. And the biggest leap that we saw with him this year has been his passing. His passing has been terrific.
Again, Matty, inferior team does not make you a superior player.
Passes. He's been able to manipulate players through the post with lobs. He's been absolutely mastering the pump fake in his jump shot just from his size in general. He's able to manipulate defenders, making them fall asleep when they
manipulate
think
how.
He's pretending to shoot the ball. He's so tall in the midi, and then he just ends up dumping it down low, catching the defender sleeping. He's doing this all the time. This is who Victor Wembanyama is now. Anthony Davis has not had this in his entire career.
So Victor Wembanyama is a superior distributor on the basketball court.
Yes. Right now he's a better passer and playmaker. He's able to hit cutters way more consistently, especially.
Well, I mean, let's call it even. I don't believe that. But you've already told me that Anthony Davis is a better defender than Victor Wembanyama. You said that in the first round. Yep. I think we've all known that clear. So if he's this much better on defense, more polished as far as scoring on on the block in particular, a guy you can dump it down to and ride for the whole entire game, keep you in the game. And Victor Wembanyama does not have that. So I would say you've already told us that Anthony Davis was a better defender, which was your only angle. And now we come to realize, I just told us, we come to realize that Anthony Davis is also a better offensive player. I think that shows who's a better overall player, Matty.
All right, y'all. That is the end of topic 1. Y'all came out swinging a solid debate between Wemby and AD. Let's move on to topic 2. What we got on the moniker? We got 2 teams that aren't necessarily at the top of their conference, but we could all agree that they're in that same range as far as just capabilities and rankings. So we got the Suns versus the Heat. Which of these 2 teams would win in a 7-game series? Ox, you kicked it off round 1. So, Maddie, you're going to kick it off topic 2. Talk to us.
Yeah, in the NBA, sometimes top-heavy talent will give it to you. When it comes to this Miami Heat team and the Eric Spoelstra culture, the locker room that he produces, I think the Miami Heat are able to win in a 7-game series. It's not going to be easy, but I think that that's what's going to happen if these 2 were to face up. I mean, just looking from the roster from top to bottom, Eric Spoelstra, future Hall of Fame head coach. The Heat this season have a top 12 defense, despite all the distractions that Jimmy Butler caused them throughout the majority of the season. Bam Adebayo's ability to protect the rim and also go outside the paint is proving once again he's one of the most versatile defensive bigs in the league. And if he was to match up against the Phoenix Suns, Mason Plumlee, come on, that's baby food. Like he's eating that up like all day. Andrew Wiggins, I don't think he'll be afraid of Kevin Durant. I mean, we've seen Wiggins step up in the playoffs many times to guard star players on the biggest stage. I mean, in Wiggins' career, KD averages like 24, 8, and 5 on 44% from the field. Like it's all right. For Kevin Durant, though, I'm not holding that standards to him in a 7-game series. Last January, when we saw these guys matched up, I mean, Wiggins got the better end of Kevin Durant. I mean, if we're just going to go off of recent history, this is just what happened. We're also not going to act like Davion Mitchell. I mean, he has been one of the most consistent guard defenders in the league this entire season. He's able to play on the ball, off the ball. I bet he could guard D-Book in stretches. On the ball, Mitchell, like, he's really top 3. And off the ball, he's, again, arguably better. I mean, yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that.
All right, Big Ox, round 1. Talk to us.
Well, I personally don't. I got the Suns, and I don't just got the Suns. I got the Suns in 5, maybe 6. This team is still very, very dangerous when they're good. They're really good. They're very explosive. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are clearly the 2 best scorers in this series, hands down. I also believe that they're just hard to stop all the way around. They got some guys also that are having good shooting years. Grayson Allen shooting the ball very well. Royce O'Neal shooting the ball very well. Also, Coach Bud seems to be kind of lessening up Tyus Jones' minutes, kind of going a little bigger, maybe a little more defensive minded with the young fella Ryan Dunn also. But back to what you were saying, Maddie. The Miami Heat. There's no more big dog over there. Like I kick my ball over that fence in Miami. I'm not afraid to go get my ball. I'm just walking in the gate. There's no big dog. There's no presence. Bam Adebayo is not the same as Jimmy Butler. They have no carryability in South Beach. 0 carryability. Tyler Hero is a very good scorer, but you got Davion Mitchell guarding Devin Booker. That's not going to work. Bam Adebayo has to stay away from Kevin Durant. He's going to get torched. Andrew Wiggins is the matchup, is what you want to stop Kevin Durant. Good luck, Maddie.
Back on you, Maddie. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, you think Kevin Durant's torching Bam Adebayo? I mean, that's fine. I mean, you could expect 27, 7, and 3 on 55, 42, 82 splits from KD. That's what he did in his last playoff series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the best defense in the league. Look at if he matches up against Andrew Wiggins, that wasn't enough to win. What KD did last year in the playoffs wasn't enough to win. And Ox, real quick, on February 27th, these are your own words at the 1 hour 25 second mark of the show. You said, if you do what you need to do to win, then win. Your exact words. You said it, not me. So look up and down this Miami Heat roster. Tyler Hero, when healthy in the playoffs, he's cooked against good defenses before. Andrew Wiggins, starter on an NBA championship team. Kevin Love, last year was the first year that Kevin Love made the playoffs and did not make the NBA Finals. He has a veteran presence. He's able to bring the most out of guys, even if he's not the player that he used to be. Terry Rozier was the starting point guard on an Eastern Conference Finals NBA team. Davion Mitchell was a vital rotational piece on the first Sacramento Kings playoff team in 20 years. And Eric Spoelstra has been to 3 conference finals since 2020. Look at the Phoenix Suns. Yes, they have the better players, the Kevin Durants, the Devin Bookers, the better scorers. We already established that. But again, Devin Booker in elimination games in his career is giving you 23, 3, and 5 on 40, 20, 91 splits. That's not winning.
Back to you, Big Ox.
Wow, Maddie. First things first, pulling up receipts. Good job. But you're talking about Terry Rozier and Kevin Love in 2025. They're not bringing anything to the table, Maddie. Let's not waste time with that. All right. Also, when I said that you need to win, then win. I was talking about them playing against Anthony. He played against Anthony Edwards. Like, that's a big dog. I already told you last round. Miami has none of that. There is no big dog in Miami. Okay. So if Kevin Durant plays the same way he played in those playoffs, he absolutely washes this Miami team. You know, there's nobody that's gonna match that. Who over there is gonna match the type of production that you got from Anthony Edwards in last year's playoffs? Who's gonna play defense to the level of Jaden McDaniels? Not Andrew Wiggins. I mean, there's no way that you can see any correlation between that. That was a nice try, but these are 2 completely different basketball teams. All right. There's nothing they can do. Also, once again, I want to talk about the Phoenix Suns, their bench players. I've been really happy with the Bol minutes. Maybe we stepped those up a little bit. Bradley Beal is a better third option as a scorer than anything they have in Miami. As far as scoring, I don't know who Jaime Jaquez or something. All the way around, there's too much firepower on the Phoenix Suns. I'm gonna give these teams the benefit of the doubt and say they're gonna be playing at their best. Miami is not as good.
It's round 3, and y'all know what that means. Let's go. The time has started.
This one's simple. This one's simple, Maddie. You don't got no big dogs over there. Yeah, it's my best player better than your best player.
Why not? Kevin Durant was the biggest dog against Minnesota last year. What happened? He lost. He got swept.
Was he? I don't know. Once again, you keep talking about Anthony Edwards. You keep talking about Anthony Edwards.
I don't care about the gap between Edwards and Hero. He was the best player in that series, regardless. He's the best player in this series too. I don't see a difference.
Right. But those two things aren't equal. You know what I'm saying? I could be the best player in middle school, but when I come over here to these high school open gyms, I'm getting cooked. So that's not the same equivalence at all. You keep bringing up a Minnesota Timberwolves team that went to the Western Conference Finals last year. I mean, I love Tyler Hero, but he is no Anthony Edwards. We just got to get off of that. There is no big dogs over there in Miami.
You know who the big dog is? It's Eric Spoelstra. He's going to make every single possible adjustment to maximize this team's potential.
With what personnel? This is a personnel issue.
The same guy who locked up Jason Tatum in the NBA Finals. The same person who outplayed Kevin Durant the last time he played him, Andrew Wiggins. That's the personnel that he's
Andrew
using.
Wiggins.
Tyler Hero is taking 10 3-pointers a game this year. 5 of them
are my crown fall off, man. What are
isolation.
you talking about?
5 of them are isolations. 5 of them are catch and shoots. He's utilizing Tyler Hero in so many different ways. He's able to make these adjustments that Mike Budenholzer has been failing to make throughout the entire year. There's stretches of the season where this defense, this bad Phoenix Suns defense, Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal, the only real redeemable, defenders that I would have.
Those two guys right there are locking up everything Andrew Wiggins got coming. So Andrew Wiggins' little scoring that he's supposed to be coming with, that's not happening. This is going to be all on Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has to match the scoring of Devin Booker. Okay, but look, Tyler Hero has to match the scoring of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and 18 points a game from Bradley Beal. Not to mention 10 more points from Grayson Allen, another 10 from Royce O'Neal. Come on, they can't score with Phoenix. On top of that, this defense that you keep talking about can't slow down Phoenix. Once again, I'm giving both these teams the benefit of the doubt, assuming that both of them are healthy, both of them are playing at their best. Both of these teams at their best.
That's been the story of the Phoenix Suns for the past years. Is when they get to their best, they've never done it so far.
In the story with the Miami Heat all these past years has been Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is in California. California sunshine. Jimmy Butler is gone. They have nothing for Kevin Durant. You're talking about Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is a chihuahua to a pit bull. There is no dog over there.
A top 10 player in the NBA Finals, so that chihuahua is a pretty damn tough chihuahua, if you're asking me.
Oh man, that was 4 years ago.
That was 4 years ago, and he's still a good defender. He's still a damn good defender.
We're talking about today. Bam's getting cooked.
Today.
Rule's getting cooked.
He outplayed KD.
Phoenix in 5.
All right, y'all. Shout out to all the big dogs. Shout out the little dogs, and shout out the dog that we gonna see tomorrow. That's gonna debate Chilltown. Ox, what dog is that?
What are we talking about?
Y'all just gotta pull up to see what kind of dog Mike the Champ is. But just know we got another big dog tomorrow. But here we go, y'all. We got the third and last topic of the day. Which team is the biggest threat to stop the defending champ, Boston Celtics? Let's get into it, y'all. Maddie, you started last round, so Big Ox, or my bad, King Ox, you gonna start this round off. Kick us off.
Okay, so we're talking about the defending champs, the Boston Celtics, and who do we have beating them? The one team I could think of to knock off the Celtics is none other than the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks first and foremost because of something I discovered. First of all, Giannis Antetokounmpo against the Celtics since Jason Tatum has been on the team. So since 2018, Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 30 and 12 against these guys, while Jason Tatum is averaging 19 and 6. Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 30 and 12, while Jason Tatum is averaging 19 and 6. My best player is not just better than your best player. My best player is kicking your best player's ass time in and time out. We can start with that. The fact that there's 8 players on this newly constructed Milwaukee Bucks roster. I know everybody's still thinking about them at the beginning of the season, but this newly constructed newly constructed Milwaukee Bucks team has 8 players averaging double digits. They're spreading out the love, led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, the best player in the NBA, followed up by Damian Lillard. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the highest scoring duo in the NBA today. Our best player better than your best player. I got Milwaukee in this one. Milwaukee in 7.
Matty Ice, talk to us.
Yeah, before I make my pitch, I just want to clarify to the chat. Part of this was any team outside the OKC Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if that's the case, I'm going to choose actually a team in the West. I'm choosing the Los Angeles Lakers. They've been extremely hot recently. My reasoning for this is just throughout the season, JJ Redick has continued to impress me. He's realized that just relying on these sole rim protectors like he was trying to do with Anthony Davis in the beginning of the season, it just wasn't good for team defense. Like the Luka trade made them so much better on offense. And they've been utilizing quick, versatile defensive wings, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt, so much better. And their defense since January 20th has been the best in the NBA because of that. So instead of having a body down in the paint, Redick has experimented with all these different lineups to use everybody on the court to make it difficult to throw like other guys in their path so they can't get to the basket. He's sending more high blitzes. He's putting more 3-2 zones. He's making offenses work harder. And again, this style is just effective. Best defense in the league since January 20th. The Celtics, I have a lot of concerns with them, even though this is my favorite team in the NBA. Actually, I'm gonna get to those. You can get the 15.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
Let's get it.
So Ron, I get his extra 15. I get a minute and 45 now.
You get a minute and 30.
That's crazy.
Let's rock
That's
out.
crazy. I need rollover minutes. Check it out though, Maddie. Al Horford just proved to y'all why the Lakers can't beat the Bucks. That's already there. I don't think that you chose a good matchup, Maddie, just because I think the Celtics. I think the Celtics have Luka Doncic's number. I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I think they really get activated in the presence of Luka Doncic. And that's not no knock to Luka. I think Luka's amazing. I just think that the Celtics are ready for that. Their defense, the Celtics defense is set up and poised for what JJ Redick is already bringing to the table. I like JJ Redick. I like the things that he brings to the table. He's very innovative. He's trying new things. He's throwing different looks at these guys. But just personnel wise, mano y mano, I think the Celtics got the Lakers number. Al Horford showed, locking down Luka Doncic in very, very crucial stretches of the game, taking the ball from Luka Doncic. I think Luka Doncic's lack of his loss of that burst, he's slowing down a bit. I think that's going to hinder them. He can't just get around Al Horford. He can't just abuse Jaylen Brown. He can't just abuse Jason Tatum. I think the Celtics have the answer for what LA is bringing, specifically with the Luka Doncic thing. I don't think the acquisition of Luka Doncic helps the Lakers beat the Celtics at all.
Round 2, Matty Ice, talk to us.
Yeah, the reason why I'm trusting the Lakers here over a team like the Milwaukee Bucks is because Doc Rivers is infamous for his bad rotations in the playoffs, not making adjustments. JJ Redick this entire season, even though he is a rookie head coach, has been making these adjustments that I've kind of been looking for in a good playoff head coach. The Celtics, my two main problems with them is, number one, they can't seem to hold a lead in the second half of games, and number two, the adjustments that they're making, they don't make any. To leave it plain and simple, I don't think Joe Mazzulla makes any adjustments. They just live and die by the 3 ball. You could just look at the past month. 24-point lead versus the Jazz 5 days ago. They only won by 6 points. 22-point lead versus the Lakers last week, 10-point win. 25-point lead versus the Blazers 10 days ago, 10-point win. 20-point lead versus the Nuggets 13 days ago, 7-point win. You get my drift. It's really just a common theme for this Celtics team. And yeah, they have elite spacing, but again, they just live and die by this 3-pointer. It worked last year, but this is the modern NBA. Teams are going to figure you out so much faster. The Celtics last year were the #1 offense in the league and had a plus 7.9 relative offensive rating, which is the 4th highest in NBA history. And this year, they still have a top 4 offense in the NBA, but it's more towards the top 25-esque of the relative offensive ratings. Teams are starting to figure this team out. They're just letting the Celtics shoot as many threes as they want.
All right, here we go, y'all. 3 minutes. Y'all know what to do. Let's make it happen.
Who do the Celtics have more trouble stopping? Giannis or Luka?
They're not stopping either of them.
Right. Okay. And who has more carryability?
They're not stopping either. I would say Luka Doncic in the playoffs has more carryability than Giannis.
I would say Giannis. I mean, both these guys can fill it up. Both these guys can give you 30 points, 32, 34, 40 points. Both these guys can fill it up. But when you talk about carryability, that's a whole another thing. Carryability is all about the extra plays. It's all about the loose ball plays. It's all about being in the right spot. It's more than that. It's all intangibles. It's dirty work. It's much more important than just scoring the basketball. You can score 30 points and have zero carryability. Giannis doesn't have that problem. Giannis 20 feels like 30. You know what I'm saying? A Giannis 30 feels like 45.
And even and I can say that about Luka Doncic too. On a bad shooting day,
you can say it, but if you said it, you'll be wrong.
Creating advantages for the other 4 guys on the court on his team.
If Luka doesn't score more than 25 points, he's doing nothing for the Lakers.
That's not true. He's the top 2 playmaker in the game, so he's affecting the game even that way when he's not having a good scoring night. That's Luka
Doncic. If he's not just severely impacting the basketball game on this end of the court, there's nothing else he brings to the table. He
always has an offensive impact though, so it's not like he's just a scorer. That's like saying that he's Jerry Stackhouse. This guy's an elite playmaker.
I mean, respect Jerry Stackhouse.
You get what I'm saying is that he's not that caliber of a playmaker. All right. Jerry Stackhouse was not known to pass. Luka Doncic is known to pass. Luka Doncic is known to be a playmaker. All right. It's that type of stuff that you have that type of impact on the game, even when you have a bad scoring night. That's why guys like James Harden in the playoffs, no matter how bad of a scoring that they have, you're always going to have defenses respecting you, guarding you. So
dependent on playmaking, it's still dependent on others to finish. When you're dependent on assists, dependent on playmaking, dependent on spoon feeding. I also in turn have to depend on Rui Hachimura hitting big shots. I have to depend on rookie Dalton Connect hitting big shots. When I can't be stopped on offense, when I can stand on defense, when I can stand on other things, intangibles, rebounding, defense like Giannis Antetokounmpo has, that he can do that. I don't have to depend on my teammates. My teammates can depend on me. Giannis Antetokounmpo has carryability. You know
that's why they have LeBron Raymond James. LeBron Raymond James can take over a game at any given time.
Look, Giannis against the Celtics, Giannis is winning 2, maybe 3 games on his own. With that being said, I just need Dame, Kuz, KP, Kevin Porter Jr., Brook Lopez.
Same thing about Austin.
I just need Austin Reeves might win
triple-double when he gets given the opportunity.
Yes, but he doesn't. Austin Reeves does not have Giannis Antetokounmpo to win 3 games for him out of 4.
Y'all keep going.
Okay. Look.
Hold on. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. As much as I would love to turn this into the panel and let you guys really go, we gotta abide by the rules. But y'all came and put up a hell of a debate. It's the reason why this was the last debate of the day.
Hey, good work, Matty. Good work.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Y'all got anything for the people on the way out?
Drink water, not Powerade.
Shout out to my boy Chris Alba in Boston.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, fellas. Next Friday, you guys will know who advances. In the meantime, appreciate all your contributions to this first round of the PCL, and best of luck to whoever advances. All right, y'all. Before we get up out of here, couple, just little side notes and things I want to let you guys know moving forward. First off, that was a fire-ass first day of the PCL. I hope y'all enjoyed it, but we have plenty more where that came from. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. I've been trying to show you guys this all day, but we finally got it up, and here we go. So this is how things is going to work. These were the matchups today. I want to show you guys the matchups for tomorrow. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so on Sunday, We have Swiper versus Duke did it. This is going to be the very first matchup. This is going to be a good one. I think Duke got some heat for Swiper, but it's only one way to tell, and we will see tomorrow. Then we have a grudge match. MTL, he's in the chat right now. He was a wild card last PCL, and he is back again to make another deep run. And then you have Hayes. He was in the Final Four last year, and during that time is around the time where MTL and Hayes had words going back and forth. They asked for each other, so we gave them their wishes. MTL and Hayes at 4:30 Eastern tomorrow. Then we have Casual versus Logan from Nerd Sesh. That's going to be a good one. Y'all don't miss that one. I'm here to tell you, I don't know who's going to win that one, but I know that is going to be a debater's debate. Then we got Jordan. Y'all know Jordan from the panel. We see it. We see him 2-3 days a week. And then we got Carson from Nerd Sesh as well. I've been told that Carson has the ability to win this whole thing. And also, we know Jordan is a regular on the panel, so we know he knows ball. That's going to be a good debate. And last but certainly not least, I got Mike, the champ, versus Chill Town Hoops. Y'all already know what that is. I don't really have to go too much into detail about why that is the battle of the whole first round. But y'all just got to pull up to see if Mike can hold his own against Chill and if Chill really has what it takes to knock off Mike, a wild card from the chat. And then we're going to keep it pushing. These are some more battles for the rest of the week. On Tuesday, we double back and we clean up 3 more battles. We have Mars, the PCL champion, versus Matthew Elliott. We'll see if Mars can come and defend his belt against Matthew Elliott. The battle after that, we got Gifted from the logo Gifted. He is going up against another wild card from the chat. He goes by the name of Renegade. You better be ready, Gifted. I know you in the chat. I know you listening right now. And you better bring your A game because I know Renegade's going to bring his A game. And then last but not least on Tuesday, we got SB Talk Sports versus Ryan from the chat. Yet another wild card. And y'all know SB. He comes on from time to time and kicks it with us on the panel. And this is what we got on Wednesday. Wednesday, we got Pirate, who was in the finals last year. He was the runner-up. We got him versus yet another wild card from the chat. You guys know him very well. He was in the chat today. He's in the chat every day. He's probably going to be on Playback later tonight. He goes by the name of Brax the Bandit, the final Bandit, the final Goofy. We'll see if Brax has what it takes to knock off Pirate, the runner-up for the PCL championship last year. And then we got ZZ versus Riv. This is going to be another debater's debate. ZZ's on from the logo. Riv is on pick a side. These two are both very experienced. They are knowledgeable debaters, and they will both be on their A games tomorrow. So I can't wait to see who gets the better of who. And last but certainly not least, the last battle of the round of 32, we got Penn. You guys know Penn. He's on the panel. He's a regular. And then we got Finesse West. And well, these two kind of had words and they exchanged some pleasantries, and now they got what they asked for. Penn told Finesse West that he won't advance out of round 1, and Finesse West basically told Penn that he is garbage. So this is what we got. Penn versus Finesse West. Y'all, this has been an amazing day, and this is going to be an amazing first round. We have 3 more days. This is the first of 4. Y'all see Saturday, March 15th, Sunday, March 16th, Tuesday, March 18th, and Wednesday, March 19th. We have $5,000 on the line, bragging rights, and we have the illustrious PCL belt. So y'all stay locked in, stay tapped in, because one person has to win this $5,000. One person or 2 people have to advance all the way to the finals, and one person will be victorious. And also, too, as if all of that wasn't enough, we will be on Playback later tonight as an after party. And the reason why we're going to be on Playback is because, well, the PCL is powered by Playback, sponsored by Playback, and brought to you by the good guys at Playback. So make sure you download the app. Make sure you join the Player's Choice Room on Playback, and make sure you are there on time and early for this OKC Thunder versus the Detroit Pistons tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We will, hey, that's right now. Shit, y'all better hurry up and get over to Playback. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all sitting here listening to me yap. We got a good ball game on our hands, y'all. Get over there to Playback right now. But on the way out, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you become a member. And before I get out of here, though, I do got a couple super chats that I do want to acknowledge and read. So let's go ahead and do that. Got to show the people they love and give them their money's worth. We got a couple new members today. One is Julius Charles. We seen him in the third debate today. Shout out to Julius Charles. Dustin Hill also joined up. He became a member. Shout out to Julius and shout out to Dustin. Gandhi KV2 said, Mustard, you were wrong. Brunson is a positive on D. I don't know about that, but he said it. So, hey, there you go. AD sent through a super chat and said the Nuggets had one fluke season, beating a 7th and 6th seed. People talking about that ring like it was the Dirk ring. LOL. Jokic PR is crazy. I'm sure Swiper can relate to that. He's the main one that pushes nasty Jokic agendas. That might even be his burner account. Average Joe said, what the fuck, Mustard? You went with Dyson Daniels? Come on, man. I actually think that was the best answer for who's the best perimeter defender in the league, but Average Joe thought that was an average pick. So there you have it. Ben Davis said FC the CDC TFC. If you know what that translates into, type it in the chat and let me know what exactly that means. But shout out my man Ben Davis for sending through the members chat. Average Joe came through with another super chat. He said, giving this to Bob. That's Cowboy Bob. Capers acting like OJ's prosecution. Layup win, but they not doing their job. Damn, King Capers. You came like that? Well, shout out Cowboy Bob and shout out King Capers. Stack the Bean became a YouTube member. Shout out to Stack the Bean. Jersey became a YouTube member. Necro X also became a YouTube member. Shout out to all three of them. Mr. Cox said, Mars, stop trolling. I hope you lose. Well, we'll just have to wait till Tuesday to see if Mars holds his end of the bargain and whether he can win. Mr. Cox with another super chat. He said, chat, please respect the panelists. And I agree with Mr. Cox. Y'all need to show some respect for these panelists and these debaters. They coming up here, they giving they all. And unlike some of you guys, these wild cards had the nuts to fill out the application and join the PCL. So shout out to all the wild cards and shout out to all the people in the chat that are being respectful. And also shout out to everybody in the chat that liked the video. Shout out to Sean. He became a YouTube member today. Shout out to T.O., my dog T.O., man. Hey, shout out my man. Went to elementary with him, went to middle school with him, went to high school with him. Shout out my dog Tosh. He became a YouTube member. Mr. Cox said John D is trolling. Darius Garland is the better player. I don't know, man. You got to listen to the debate and see. I don't know if John D made the better case. T.O. also said, I see you, my boy. I see you too. Shout out to T.O. and shout out to everybody else that's sending through super chats. This isn't a super chat, but shout out to Alan L. He just said, duh, PCL, and I agree. Jerome Autry became a YouTube member. Shout out to Jerome Autry. Mr. Cox sent through yet one more super chat. He said, Chill is losing in the first round for sure. Is that a fact? Do y'all have Chill getting packed up? Let me know, man. Let me know in the chat if y'all got Chill getting packed up. We got a couple more super chats, so let me go ahead and get to these. And then I might just have a video that I want to play for you guys for the PCL, a promo video of what's to come. But in the meantime, y'all, let me read this next one. The next super chat is from Mitsu. Mitsu said, Dion is right. Bring the heat, y'all. I think that last battle portrayed a lot of heat. I think they came with it. I think Ox and Matty Ice both did what they were supposed to do and came and held it down. But y'all, as promised, I got one more thing that I want to leave y'all on the way out of here. Y'all check this out.
I'm going to destroy this guy just because of Mars. And just because of how Mars is treating me. Mars is treating me like I'm one of these. I'm just one of these dudes. I'm gonna destroy this guy. I promise.
I think people underestimate how competitive Chill is, and I think Mars is legitimately attacking Chill for no reason.
Maybe I'm doing it for the content, man.
I swear.
Maybe I'm gonna get the best out and Chill. Who knows?
Chill should take this personal. This has been Mars for 4 weeks now doing this. Yes, I would absolutely take this.
I'm gonna wipe the floor.
Like Chill has built an entire basketball platform all from scratch, and he's saying he will lose somebody in chat who disrespect him constantly. I would feel this. Mike is like Chill at this point is taking this personal. So like I know Chill. I know Chill very well. So like I know for a fact he's taking